Matt, welcome to the Westgate Irregulars. I'm Eric Scott DeB. These are the dungeon scrawlers. I usually don't talk about myself in this, so I will this time. I write books. You can see them all on the shelf behind me and a few others. And in fact, all of us write books, and some of us are going to tell you about them at various points. So without further ado, take it away, Erin.
Hi, I'm Erin. Let's try that again. Hi, I'm Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga. I play Cecilia, who is definitely not a warlock, but is definitely having a very tough time right now. Really quick, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, which includes Frida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels saga. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Xbox One, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. Right now, they've got so much going on. Trials of Tiamat has started up, so there is now a multiplayer option, which is very exciting. If you're looking for a group, you can check out our Discord. Our first one just succeeded recently, I believe. And starting today, the new Witchlight adventure is available, so you can play through some of Wild Beyond the Witchlight through Idle Champions, which is very, very exciting. If you come here from there, welcome. You can type in the command at the bottom of the screen, top of the screen. Where are we here? Bottom of the screen, and get a code for an Electrum chest, so you can plug that in, get some gens, get some stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can find out more at idlechampions.com.
Hey, I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy under that and space opera under RZ Held. And I play Artemisia, half-elf sorcerer who really likes lightning.
Hey, I'm Ying Wang. I'm a writer and a filmmaker, and I play Stong Makguk, who is a half-orc bard.
Hi, I'm Stephen Merlino. I play Kraban Gleer, also known as Sturge, the arcane trickster diviner and god in hiding. He is he's
or in his own head.
No.
According to him.
Well, it's a long story. I write epic fantasy, sword and sorcery, and my first novel is pretty much on perma-free on Amazon, going with the theory of first one free.
Get them hooked.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's got an arcane trickster basically as lead character.
True.
Essentially.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's me.
Hey, I'm Randy Henderson. I play Rogar Battle Baron, Dwarf Cleric, Baby Gay. And just a reminder, hey, subscribe. In the chat beforehand, Eric promised that we'd all get +3 weapons if we hit 60 subscribers, I think.
I said 60 more.
What? Come on.
I said if we hit 100.
How about if we tier it like every 20? So at 60, one of us gets one. At 80, one of us gets one. At 100, one of us gets one. I don't know. Well, we'll negotiate offline with our DM.
I'll consider.
But get those subs coming in because we could use them.
And, so help us out. I mean, you're basically buying us weapons. And what is more fun? What's a funner gift than that?
Buy us weapons, buy you cool emotes. It's all kinds of, it's give and take.
That's right. And it also, of course, helps pay for all the cool art and the music and everything else that we try to, because we like to pay the artists. Being artists ourselves, we appreciate being paid, so we like to pay our artists. But yeah, take it away, Eric.
Well, I'm sure you've probably spotted that there's something strange going on, that my background doesn't seem to be quite normal, and that's because yes, that's right, I took a picture of my bookshelves to be a virtual background for myself. So here we are in Westgate. Excellent. All right. So when last we left off, you were teleporting away from the caves. So you have fallen backward through the teleportation spell. Visage phases out.
Okay.
So in another time and place, she hunts, at times an elf, at times a wolf, as the Lothari are wont to do. She prowls these woods that are hers, not by choice, but by necessity. The heart of the piercing cannot find her here in her exile, and so she is free for now. She has come to appreciate these woods. They are not the world she meant to conquer, but they are hers. They are enough. She prefers these times as a wolf when she is red in tooth and red in claw. She finds the best prey with her wolf senses, such as now. She freezes. She had scented the golden stag before, but never quite this close. The stag is swift, but she can be swift. Perhaps this time she will take it. The stag scents her just before she pounces and bounds away, leading her into the shadows of the woods. At times she gains, at times it leaps and outpaces her, and never does she conquer it. How long they chase one another, she cannot say, but ultimately she traps the golden stag in a canyon that has no exit. She slows, pacing pointedly, her breath steaming in the air. This stag has given her an excellent chase, and so she will slay it. She takes her elf form, her viridian spear crackling in her hands. But what she finds in the canyon is not a golden stag, but a man who rises up naked from the ground, a rack of antlers upon his head. Ah, he says, I have been searching for the witch of the woods, and I seem to have found her. She holds her spear threateningly toward him. You have no business in my woods. I should slay you now where you stand. Ah, but I don't think you will. I think you're curious what brings me here. She says, I'm not curious. You are an intruder. You threatened me. He says, I did not come to threaten you, although perhaps if we spend time together, you will think that I am threatening you. She pauses, thinking, does he know about the bargain that she made? Does he know about her curse? He smiles. Fear not, Spear Witch. You will bear no daughters from me. She tilts her head. Very well, Golden Stag. Come to my grove, and we shall talk. He smiles. Okay. So there's a time of weightlessness and uncertainty, and you flail around searching for purchase, but you're holding each other's hands very, very tightly. And when the mist finally clears, you find yourselves in the circular tower of Dark Dance Manor in Westgate. I didn't put a token out for Lazar, but I should really do that. So yeah, you're all there except for Caliph. Caliph is nowhere to be seen.
Oh no.
You cast your minds back and you realize that just before you teleported away, Kayla said, oh wait, I have to get something, and pulled her hands out of the circle. And then you all teleported away.
Ah.
Does she need a dead body? Well, no, I don't want to know what she needs a dead body for anyway.
Yep.
I feel like
Anyway.
Kayla's answer would be, what don't I need a dead body for?
Very
Of
true.
course, the dead body is very useful. Anyway, so you find yourselves in the tower. I'll put a token on there for Lazar. But Lazar is extremely weary and essentially sags against you. I think Cecilia and Stong were holding his hands. So he sags to the floor. Cecilia, how strong are you exactly?
10.
10. Okay, so he's real heavy and difficult to hold up. Stong has no problem though. So
Yeah,
he
Stone helps Cecilia with her side.
yeah.
Anything.
All right, there he is. Boop.
All right.
And he goes, I did not think I would survive that place. Oh, I am so very tired.
Ugh.
You're vile smelling as well. Can we give him a bath?
Well, what
We-
do you expect? I was living with lizards people for a 10 day.
Cover your mouth when you speak.
Do we need to worry about the witches following us here? Because they tracked us to the grove.
I
so-
mean, I don't think we left a lot of them behind to
Yeah,
come
but
for us.
any
But
that are
another
left are
one.
really bad now.
I think we killed all the witches. There's just berserkers left, so they can't. I don't think unless they have stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Witches,
Ugh.
Lazar says. There were
Yeah.
witches after you?
No, after
Just
you.
after you.
Oh, well,
Did you
that
think
is to
you'd
be
just
expected.
leave and they'd be like, "Oh
Of course not. They have been chasing me for years.
well,
Just
well,
another day
they
of being
found
me.
you."
Hashtag on brand.
Well, they found you, but you found me. Do you remember which witches they were, out of curiosity?
Do I?
Make an investigation check to investigate your memory.
7.
7. A couple of them seem vaguely familiar, so you could at least describe them to him.
Okay.
But like you've blocked out some of that stuff from your past. It's not all
Yeah.
super vivid.
I mean, the witches would come and you'd make me go live in the back of the cave so they
For
didn't
your
know I was
own-
around.
for your own.
Ugh, okay. Yeah. Just gonna look at
So-
Song and be like, I think he's gonna have to rest.
So you hear kind of a husky hem from elsewhere, and you see these two people sitting on the earth moat drinking tea together. One of them is Mirren, and the other is this darkly beautiful woman with a number of tattoos on her, all over her body, like on her chest, on her neck. She also has a number of piercings in her nose and in her ears. She's dressed all in black. It's not Illyra though. Kind of seems maybe at first a little bit like Illyra, like Mirren has a type, but you know, this lady is definitely not her.
So Mirren has a bunch of like blue tattoos all over her, right? Is this lady's tattoos, do they look like Mirren's?
No.
Oh, okay.
This lady has two raven tattoos on her chest, kind of like their beaks pointing at each other. And her other tattoos appear to be other animals and weaponry. So not arcane runes like Mirren's tattoos. Plus they're black, black and silver, not blue.
Was it possible to get a quick read of the room before we like interrupted whatever?
Sure,
they were
make an
doing?
insight check.
I don't want to know whether it was like, this is like a business call or is this more of like a personal, like, long friends, long time no see.
The date.
14, 11.
Okay. It looks like, well, they don't seem to be hostile and they don't seem to be offended by your appearance. So beyond that, you can't exactly tell. And Mirren says, "Oh, you appear to be in a hurry. I'm so sorry." And the woman says, No, I understand, adventurers.
We had to make a decision kind of quick. We needed to get somewhere safe. Is it possible? Could we put him in a room for a minute?
Mirren says, of course.
Song.
You'll have to excuse me. And the woman says, of course. Absolutely. I am only here as a courtesy because I have come to your city. And so I am at your disposal. And Mirren says, oh, that's so kind of you. We'll have to catch up later. The woman stands. She has this kind of sinewy way of walking, and she walks just past you.
Perhaps you could introduce us to your guest. I know that's rather forward since we just intruded on you, but she has such interesting raven tattoos.
The woman pauses and looks at Sturge. Yes. Mirren says, oh, well, of course, how rude of me. This is Lady Blackblade. She's a pirate from, well, a sailor captain. And the woman says, no, you had it right the first time. And Mirren says, from the Astral Sea.
Oh,
And
Interesting.
the woman says, yes, indeed.
Ooh.
She looks at Sturge in particular. She says, I see.
I suppose you're associated with the Githyanki, or at least have dealings with them.
Yes, I have stabbed a few and been stabbed by a few in my time.
Have you ever stabbed one named Scarcehair?
Oh. How would you know that name? You must be Stong Macguck.
Yeah, that's me.
Ah, I see what she sees in you.
Oh, thank you.
Mostly the rippling muscles.
I try really hard.
Yes, I can see that strength is your strength.
I don't suppose you've met her offspring, have you?
She points at
Scare's
you.
offspring?
Scare's offspring.
She says, I did not know that Scarecer had produced more GIF for
So
the
many of us
cause."
looked at Stong when that happened. Just out of curiosity.
Stop looks at Sturge. He goes,
I might have gotten that wrong.
We met some other Githyanki when we were in the astral plane.
So you see the woman has slightly pointed ears. Her skin is extremely pale. And she has a certain dark intensity about her.
I feel like whenever somebody has dark intensity, it's like trouble, 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 trouble.
Trouble. I was going to say, I don't think any... Okay, Stong, you're a bard. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
sweet.
What color are the ravens on her?
7.
Okay, you can't tell. She's just very, very pretty and very intense. Black ravens. So I'll see you anon. And then she heads out. Mirren says, "Oh, yes, it was just an old friend who was visiting. She does not spend a great deal of time on this plane of existence. I hope she behaves herself. Anyway, so you have another guest, and he needs a bed.
And a bath.
Yeah.
And maybe we could borrow your workroom, cast a spell. Maybe.
Of course. All that I have is at your disposal." She waves her hand, and Lazar just kind of floats up into the air, and he goes, huh? And she says, "I'm just taking you to the bath, sir." She looks around at all of you. She obviously doesn't recognize Lazar.
This is my father.
Oh, Mirren looks startled. Oh, I did not realize. I shall accord him the proper honors and comforts.
We need him. Well, I should go with you. I don't know. Yeah, I think Cecilia will follow Mirren.
Okay.
She's not sure what Mirren knows and whether she might decide to do things.
Mm.
And also sometimes when Mirren's around evil stuff, Mirren starts acting evil. So it might just be better. It might just be better for Cecilia to go along.
It's good to be on the safe side.
It is the privilege of the offspring of the infirm and elderly to bathe them in their infirmity.
That's true. That's very kind of you, Sturge. Will you be bathing me in my infirmity, I hope? All right, so Rogar will nudge Ruan and say, "You should go after your sister. This is a chance to, show some support."
Oh, you're right. Obviously, I didn't want to intrude, but I'm sure. What could go wrong? Yeah, he just follows Cecilia.
Do you want?
Stone.
He says, "I can bathe him in his infirmity if you
He's-
prefer."
Oh my god, I don't think he's that bad, guys. I think he can just take care of himself. I'm
Zar
just making
says-
sure he doesn't escape.
I'm not so.
Oh my god.
Gonna need some
Oh,
scrubbing.
God. Stone
All right,
says,
well-
I don't want to watch your father bathe. You don't need me to, right?
Be certain you
No.
throw away or possibly burn the loofah afterwards.
Mirren sends him floating through a secret door that opens in this wall and into the
The secret bathroom.
secret bathroom. Well, it's
Or-
not really secret so much as kind of concealed. Like, it's not super obvious that it's there.
It's the one
Artemisha
not for
dreams
guests.
about that bathroom sometimes.
I'm gonna say it's not
In
secret
our
from
house.
us. We all know about it.
Did Sturge? Did you put your shackles on him? I think
The
you mentioned them. But
Manacles.
Does.
manacles.
Yeah.
If you did that, he wouldn't have been able to teleport,
that's
right?
That's right. No, I decided I couldn't.
That would have been really funny if you put the shackles on him and then you teleported away and just left him there. And he's like, what was the point of this?
It's to mess with you, old man. No.
Yeah, we could get you anytime, anywhere.
And you all reappear like two rounds later, 12 seconds later, and you're like, take the shackles off, teleport again.
My bad.
Well, Rogar's just thinking of the time that he basically had to call Sharindlar down in order to stop himself from getting killed by Lazar last time Lazar was here. So he doesn't feel comfortable just like letting him just go off and have a bath. Like, if he feels like there needs to be, he'll say that. He's like, last time he was here, he nearly killed me. I had to call a goddess to stop him. Do we have like some kind of security on this guy? Do you have the spell or something to keep him from?
Are you asking Cecilia?
She's already, I think, wandered off. Like, he's probably looking at Sturge. Like, Sturge.
We could put the manacles back on him now. At least that way he won't escape anywhere. But I think we have his interest, or at least Cecilia does, in this respect that she has the antidote he needs.
Oh, that's right.
It's safe too, so he can't just like grab it off her. He can't get to it
Oh, right.
because they put it in the ring.
But the manacles can't hurt anything. Let's put his arms behind his back.
You also might recall that Cecilia, he can't charm Cecilia anymore.
Oh.
So that
That's handy.
might be handy.
She's impervious to his charms, enchantment spells.
Bucket.
I'll go ahead and put the things on him anyway.
Okay.
Rogar rests a little easy. He'll cast Guardian of Faith to stand outside the room too, outside the bathroom door. Lazar tries to leave. Just
Okay.
like a dwarven spectral form of that looks like
Dwayne the
Rock
Rock
Jaw.
Dwarf Johnson.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. As he goes into the bath, Ruan says to Cecilia, "I can watch him if you want to plan with the others. You don't have to." You don't have to.
No, thank you. I appreciate it, but I see a couple problems.
Oh,
I mean, I know how he works, and I think you might be a little. It might be a little easy for him to turn his spells on you.
oh,
And then
don't worry, I have a plan.
the other problem is
Okay.
that, I'm pretty sure at this point the Spear Witch would like him dead, and you would be a pretty easy person to take care of that, wouldn't you?
Well, I suppose you're right. Although, if I did kill him, that would make you very unhappy, and I definitely don't want that to happen. If I were really serving the Spear Witch, I probably would have killed him as soon as I saw him. But I'm here to help you, not her. You can trust me, sister. Let me try and earn your trust.
That is a really easy thing to say, especially given everything that's happened so far.
Well, I have to start somewhere, don't I?
Yeah. So you can help me,
Okay, I will help you.
but you're not going to ask me to trust you that much all
Okay.
at once. Especially, I'm still kind of pissed to find out you're telling Rogar that the Sarshan can't be trusted. What is that even about?
Well, it is a long story. Perhaps I can tell you while we watch your erstwhile father.
I mean, he's still my father, unfortunately.
Nope.
He's very weak. I'm sure someone could put him to sleep with an easy spell.
I mean, not in the bathtub, though. Like, don't.
Ooh,
Prop his
Artemisia-
head above
Artemisia
water. It should
did.
be fine.
Get him one of those little neck floaties.
Lazar,
Oh,
Can't do
Lazar is
that.
like, I am fine. You can say whatever you want around me. And then does Artemisia cast sleep on him?
Well, I mean, she's not there, but if
Oh.
someone would think to ask her, she would 100. Because she was sort of like hovering, like, oh, I can support Cecilia, but then we don't need like a whole crowd. So she sort of hung
Everybody's
back, so-
standing around watching Lazar.
I feel
But it's
like,
like,
So if Cecilia would be like, hey, Artemisia, she would come and she could cast sleep on it once he's out of the bath.
and Ruin could, Rogar could
He
always
has,
cast
like,
just
9 hit
deafness on
points,
him.
so-
as well.
Anyway, he is pretty out of it right now. So
see, with it enough to like take this bath that's been requested of him.
it's like I am fine.
Don't dress slap. Don't drown.
Ah.
Please, like,
Mirren says, I'll make sure he won't drown.
we
she
just make
casts
the water
another spell.
cold.
She casts another spell,
Make it
and
cold. It'll
and
wake
he
him up.
goes, oh, I see. And Mirren says, look, I just cast water breathing on him, so if he goes underwater,
Oh, Mary.
he'll just keep breathing.
I feel like I'm being shunted away from Lazar, so I may just have to follow that.
Oh no, I'm trying to make it so that you can talk to Ruin without worrying that Lazar is going to overhear you. And
Oh, I don't care.
okay,
I don't care.
that's fine. Okay,
I mean, it's not like there's anything at this point. I think at this point, Cecilia doesn't really care what Lazar finds out,
okay,
because we're
Fair
gonna
enough.
have to tell him a lot of the things that she might have been a little hesitant about telling him. We're going to have to tell him in order to do this next step, or it's gonna be. I mean, maybe I don't understand how this spell works, but I think if he really doesn't know anything, it's not gonna work very well. So she is like out of shits. If he hears, he hears.
all right, fair enough. So yeah, Mirren comes over to the rest of the group and says, so fill me in, tell me what's been happening. Let me see if I can help. All right, so Aaron, you want to hear from Ruin about what's going on?
Yeah, maybe.
What the sergeant thing is about?
I think Cecilia does.
Okay. All right. So Ruin says, well, it's complicated, and it goes back to when we were young, or well, when you were extremely young and I was younger. Our mother had to hide us from a terrible foe, and Sarshan appears to be, or at least was, a servant of that foe. And
The
so
heart
I
of the
was.
piercing.
He kind of shivers a little bit. He's like, well, yeah, if you want to just say it so openly like that.
Ruan, do you know, like, do you think I'm a witch?
Do you mean in the cultural or political sense? I'm not sure.
I genuinely don't remember if she's told him this or if he
I
needed to figure it out.
Don't think she has, no.
It's like,
Well, you have power from something. I assume Lazar taught it to you.
no,
He was terrible student, never learned anything.
you sucked it out of my brain. Stop that. That's how I know, Sarshan, that I have a pact with the heart of the piercing.
You
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, you see understanding dawn on Ruin's face. He's like, I'm not sure how to feel about that. That's, wow. our
I
mother,
didn't know how you didn't know.
our mother was deathly terrified of that monster, and yet she was worried that
I mean,
the piercing would come and take you.
No. First of all, I want to be clear about this. Like, she dropped me in Rashomon. She never came back.
Because she was worried for you.
Well, it kind of sucked.
Well, yeah. And Zar goes,
I mean, what was I going to do? Just stay there my whole life? You didn't belong there.
no, I know that's what I tried to tell her. I told her that we could keep running like we had before, and she wouldn't listen to me.
Well, I left. I had to leave because this guy's transgressions apparently travel down, and they don't like Mom there at all. They're very anti-spear witch. And I went north. I thought, I thought I'd find something else. I did for a little, and that was worse. And then I ran again, and I found the heart of the piercing. And she said, I would love to make a pact with you. I shouldn't say she didn't mention Mom. She kind of did.
So her prophecy came true.
What prophecy?
Mother always said that there was a prophecy that the heart of the piercing would seize you and own you.
I dislike this very much. You make it sound like I had no agency in this. I went to her, I talked to her, I accepted her deal.
But
I'm pretty sure I could get out of it if I needed to.
Rowan says. Well, that.
But I don't really want to, Ron. I like it. Most of it.
He reaches out, and pokes you in the cheek.
Stop it! What are you doing?
Just seeing if you're really you.
I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
I used to have these nightmares when I was very young. Soon after Mother gave birth to you, that you would return and you wouldn't be you. You would be her.
Haranawashu?
Yes.
Part of me's like, that would be kind of badass. But no, I don't think Cecilia wants that at all. No.
I'll have to think about this. But I'm sorry that I got in the way and tried to meddle with things.
I appreciate that you were trying to watch out for me.
I do love you, sister. And Mia, of course. Both of you. You are my family. You are my pack.
We try. You...
Piece of shit.
Sturge,
I feel like-
where'd you come from?
Sorry.
So
I feel like Cecilia's like...
Just looking for some soap. Sorry.
Okay.
Serge, where did you come from?
I feel like Cecilia is thinking that Ruan has very rose-tinted glasses about this, and that she does not actually trust him not to be still working for the Spear Witch, or not realizing he's working for the Spear Witch, or not like plenty ready to just like run back and be like, it's fine, Mother, and make things way more complicated. So she's a little withdrawn still, but she's gonna like kind of like pat his arm.
Well, maybe you should talk to her.
No. No. No.
No? You
No.
don't think so?
No. No. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea.
Oh,
Everyone, I'm going to level with you. I don't want to tell you why I think that's a bad idea, but I'm going to tell you something else.
okay.
I don't want to talk to her. She just dumped me. She dumped me somewhere with someone who didn't want me, somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. Do you think, that's like 17 years of pretending to be someone I'm not.
It was
It's not.
absolutely the wrong thing for her to do. And I knew it then, and I'm pretty sure that she knew it then, but
She did it anyway, and she had 17 years to fix it, and she didn't. She didn't even try to fix it. She went and did the same thing with Artemisia. Slightly different, maybe better, but I don't know. I've met Marcelea. And so that doesn't tell me she's thinking about this very hard.
she was afraid that the piercing would come for Artemisia.
Then don't. Ugh. You know, they make herbs for this. Artemisia bought me a ton of them.
Yes, she did.
I am pretty sure the Spear Witch is smart enough to figure this out. I mean, if you've got this angry archfey, like maybe I don't know. And I feel like I'm asking a lot for you to think about her differently. But you're asking a lot for me to
Think
turn
about
around
her
and go,
differently?
yeah.
Maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Cecilia's like, this is a skeptical face that she's trying to tone down.
You may not want to hear this, and you may not believe me, and I'm pretty sure that both of those are yes. You don't want to hear it, and you won't believe me. But our mother does care very deeply about you, and she did wrong you, but she had reasons, not good reasons. She obviously made a mistake. We could be all the way to the spine of the world by now, easily, or maybe in a different world entirely. And we could be a happy pack all together. But anyway, what's done is done, and we have to move forward with the world we have. Yes? Oh, why is he so smelly?
I was just wanted to observe how awesome it is that you're just sitting there basically saying how much it sucked that she stuck you in Rashomon, and how much it sucked there while Lazar is like right there. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like
Yeah.
back me up, Dad. You didn't like it either.
Lazar is mostly passed out at this point. Or he seems to be largely unconscious. Not dead, not dying, just slumbering. And he is indeed snoring very loudly.
I have to get Miranda. I don't know.
You know, I could do that, Ruin says.
Okay, but you see, here's the
Just
thing.
Dips a finger in the water and it turns super, super cold. And Lazar goes, ah!
There we go.
Winter in the river, right?
That's right. Wait. I heard a person from Rashomon say something about winter rivers once. What was it? Ruin says, winter in the river gives you quite a shiver. Is that right? Lazar goes, ugh.
She's just gonna look at him and say in Rashemi, like, just stop. He's trying.
Just killed me. Anyway, so back to the main group. You've filled Mirren in on what's been going on. You can tell me later if there were things that you didn't tell her, or you can tell me now if there were things you didn't tell her. But she listens to your story patiently, says, huh, yes. Yes, I've heard of that spell. I don't know it myself, but yeah, you were wise to seek out a wizard who could cast it. Rogar,
Aye.
I hate to interrupt your gazing longingly in the near distance, but there was a caller who came here to the manor for you.
Oh.
He didn't leave a card or anything. Let me see if I can remember his name. One moment. She thinks about it for a second.
Rogar thinks of Jacques. What was it? The bear that we met right
Joaquin.
before we left. Joaquin that we met right
yeah.
before.
Joaquin.
Because and he blushes a little bit. He looks at Ruin and he feels a little guilty for thinking immediately of Joaquin and his nice big muscles and that great rugged bearded jaw. Oh, okay, sorry.
It is true. Joaquin was extremely handsome in a very bearish sort of way. Okay, so let's see. That's right. Riggin. Riggin is what he said his name was.
Regan.
Yes, he was a dwarf, a young dwarf.
Oh,
A golden dwarf, like yourself. And he said he was a fellow priest of Sharinlar and was seeking you out as a contact within the city.
Excellent. Thank you. That's good news. I think. Thank you, Mirin. I will be sure to look him up as soon as I can, but right now we
Yes.
really need to
Yes.
save Starshin.
He said he was staying at one of the inns to the west outside the wall.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Thank you for that.
absolutely. All right, so you bathe Lazar. He is no longer quite as stinky. And he never really went quite back to sleep after the shockingly cold water incident. But he is lounging there listless and clearly exhausted. And he says, so, and Ruin eventually heads away to go rejoin the others, leaving you alone with your father. He kind of looked at you to make sure you were okay with that, but he knows that you are immune to his spells, essentially.
Extremely goal oriented.
So Lazar looks at you and he says, well, perhaps now you will tell me what it is you want from me. I do not recall exactly what was said in the cavern. I had been dead a moment before.
Yeah, why were you messing with a gnomish lighter thing?
What?
Possibly has lost some memory from that experience.
Gnomish
You
lighter.
should have used a dwarvish lighter. It wouldn't have blown up on you.
I don't even know any gnomes.
Mm.
Little hairy things.
That
Ugh.
was so bad.
Associated with death, memory loss. It's
I think Cecilia mistrusts Lazar enough that she has not gotten to Sturge.
Have you come to take some elaborate revenge on me? I would not begrudge you.
I only want one thing right now. I need someone who can cast Dream of the Blue Veil. And I know you know that spell.
Oh, I see. I do know that spell. I have used it.
I remember.
Yes. It provided some measure of entertainment in a terrible place like the Rock. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, but a spell. It allowed us to escape for a brief time. You were young, you might not remember.
I don't remember anything fun like that.
You do not
mean-
remember looking upon the great mountains of other worlds, of seeing flights of dragons with knights and lances. You do not remember lightning-powered mechanical chariots streaming past on rails.
He's really rubbing this in, making you
mean-
feel bad. You missed out.
Perhaps
No.
Perhaps it was
I-
because I made you carry the bags and they were too high. You could not see over them.
I do kind of remember that. Wait, am I supposed to?
Yeah.
I'm reading this as like Lazar's like, I did this fun thing with you when you were a kid. I mean, it wasn't great, but
Sure.
just in case I'm like wildly misunderstanding.
Well, it's
Hey, remember when I took you to the racetrack? You got to see the horses race. Come on.
Fine.
it's up to you, Aaron.
Yeah, no, I'll say she remembers kind of. I think
Okay.
Cecilia it's one of those childhood memories where you don't think about it and then someone says it and you're like, wait.
I learned many things in those other worlds, but the witches, they learned of my explorations into this sort of magic, and they were not best pleased. So I have not cast that spell in years.
Can you still do it?
If I have a time to study my grimoire, I can prepare it, yes.
Do you have that?
My magic does not work like yours. It is a product of study and discipline. But yes, I do.
Hmm.
Not on me, obviously.
Where is it?
It is in a place that you would not look for it.
Well, this deal is gonna fall apart if you can't cast that spell. You cannot have the antidote.
All right. You be patient. I produce for you. And he reaches into himself, like
That's what I'm
near
afraid
where
of.
the knife is still stuck in him, and he pulls out, like his fingers just go into his flesh. There's no blood or anything; they just merge into there, and then he pulls out this circular book.
Yikes. Oh my god. That's new.
He says, "Well, when you spent years on the road like me, you learn how to hide your spell book." I had not done this, some horror would have consumed it. Perhaps your mother would have. And then he clams up.
Are you
Yes, I
working
have
with the spear witch?
working with that awful harpy. No, she kidnapped me.
I mean, little bit go mom, but
She finds me dying of your friend's dagger, and then she preserves my life to keep me a slave. You have rescued me. Thank you, daughter.
Oh.
let's be real clear here. I have only rescued you so you can help me. We do
Of
this
course, I
go
would
our
expect
separate ways.
nothing less.
I make no guarantees as to what Sturge does.
Well, I shall watch myself, and I shall watch him.
You, just out of curiosity, do you remember me chopping your head off?
What? I think I would remember that.
Feels like it.
Technically, you might not, depending upon whether or not enough blood would still flow into the brain after.
I mean,
Does he always do that? Just appear from the shadows?
yeah, it's very on brand for him.
I
thought
should
you were-
have killed you when I had the chance, little long-nosed
Mm.
man.
Hey, none of that.
You tried. You remember? You were trying very hard. I remember.
Yes, well, I have entered into pact with my daughter, and I shall not kill you, you strange.
And you, Sturge, you're not going to kill him either.
No.
He has to do this.
Strange bird-faced man.
What is that?
What What is he pointing at?
Pointing right next to and behind Lazar.
Oh crap! Strange bird-faced man wants my spell book.
Wait.
If he touches my spell book, may I incinerate him?
Wait.
Or perhaps suggest that he walk 50 miles in the other direction?
No.
Sturge, don't touch his spell book.
Would that be a deception roll?
Anyway, there's a little love lost between Lazar and Sturge.
No. How much does Lazar need to know to cast the spell?
You ask him?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's gonna say, how much do you need to know to cast the spell?
All right, so he explains the basics of how the spell works in this way. I need object from this other world that you wish to travel to, or I need something like a piece of a person in this world,
We got that.
something created in this other world, if possible. You have
Okay.
this.
Yes.
Oh, I see. You are not with child then.
What?
Is that what you mean?
Oh, why would you go there?
Sorry, I spend so much time among witches that ask this question immediately.
You just oh no. God.
I see.
Oh, you make me so angry.
What is this object then?
It's a feather.
A feather. Okay, I see. Well, then I spend some time casting ritual over this feather, and if it works, it takes us to other world, and we spend some time there, maybe take in the sights, see some interesting things. Oh, and we are barely there. If any of us is hurt, spell ends for hapless person. So sad. Taken back to origin spot.
What?
If I am hurt, spell ends for everyone, for I am source of magic. You hear that, long-nosed freak? You behave yourself, or perhaps pebbles strike you in face and you go back to origin world. I am not saying I would attack your friend. I am simply saying fate falls upon those who would promise violence.
I have no desire to interrupt this spell.
Did you just promise violence?
I'm gonna separate you two if I have to.
It's probably for best.
Okay. As we go, do we have a time limit? Is it just until somebody gets hurt?
Spell lasts for 5-6 hours.
Okay. You don't need to know where we're going. Just need to sing.
I do not need to know world that we go to. I need object from world.
Okay. And you need
I
to
do
rest.
not even need to know name of world. I
That's
need
good
to know
because
that
we don't
it
have
exists.
that.
I need to know that it exists and that you have object from world.
So
Magic object if possible.
So
It's
just so
magic.
I understand, this 6 hours, are we dreaming that we're in this other world, or are we in this other world?
Have you come and joined them in the bathroom?
Everybody can come hang out in the bathroom.
Oh yes, come in. Come look at tired, dirty man.
Well, if we're discussing the spell, then
We
I
can
heard,
have
like,
moved him
threatening-
to a bedroom or something.
It's
So
not-
yeah, like having a
Yeah.
conversation.
He's just holding court
While
around
he's
a
in the
bathtub
bath.
while he's like
let
naked in
him
the water.
get dressed, and then we can ask about. The
There we
spell.
go. We'll say, hang on. Like let's just go somewhere where everybody can hear about this and transfer to one of Mirren's guest rooms if she'll
Like,
let us.
yeah. Like he He sees you all smiling. He's like, yes, yes, come see, naked old man.
Nope.
And he looks at Artemisia and he's like, oh, it's very cold water.
Ah, no!
Oh my god.
That's my sister, you weirdo.
He says, that is your sister.
Oh.
Oh,
Knock
oh,
off.
I see a
Yelling at him in
resemblance.
Rashembi. Like, no!
No, bad daddy.
Also daughter from Spearwish.
Oh my god.
Is he saying that
Yes.
in Rashemi?
No, yeah, he's saying that in Rashemi.
Oh, okay.
Yes. What do you think? What's the other option here?
No, I was just saying, obviously, rock does not fall far off mountain.
Yeah. She gets around, doesn't she?
Yes, she is beautiful and terrible, just like you.
Oh, God.
Rogar,
I don't know
Rogar-
whether the compliment or the insult makes her angrier.
Oh, Rogar, like, I'm half tempted to do control water and create a whirlpool in the tub. He
Well,
seems
no,
like-
we're in a bedroom now.
Oh, we're in the
So
bedroom.
you're gonna
Yeah.
move into a bedroom,
Yes.
okay?
Okay.
Artemisia is gonna cast tongues, though.
All right, so
No more of this. I don't know what's going on.
I'm
Yes.
gonna put you in this bedroom here in the northeast, which is the one of the few that's really large enough for this many people all at once.
Okay, now Stong will join. He did not want to go into that bathroom. No, thank
Okay.
I enjoy very much the notion of, I mean, I don't know why Stong makes that call, but I enjoy the notion of this orc of the Cormyr Swamps being like, bathrooms are private, guys. While we're all like, "Dur, dur, 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 dur."
yeah, you know. Yeah, it's just my friend bathing her down.
Rogar gonna open a temple, like everybody just, use the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah. So he basically explains the basics of the magic to everyone, and says he needs time to study his grimoire and prepare that spell. So it's getting to be evening. He suggests that we go at dawn.
Well, and Artemisia is down hit points. She needs a long rest.
Aye.
Stong also would love a long rest.
I think Cecilia is going to sit in this room and take a short rest because she can get away with that. And also, I think Cecilia is not sleeping right now. But being a
So-
warlock, she can get away with that.
Artemisia does have a question for Lazar. She's gonna ask if her magic will work in this other world.
It should, yes. My magic always functioned in Otherworld.
Good to have spell slots back then.
Although I feel I must reiterate? What is the word? Anyway, I feel I must remind you that if you take harm in this other world, spell end for you and you come back to this world.
So
You
evasion.
you
is
will
the
not
key.
be harmed unless you die in Otherworld. If you die in Otherworld, you're dead.
Yeah, dying sucks.
Which is why we're gonna make sure it doesn't happen.
Ah, he looks up at Stone. I see something in you that I recognize.
What is that?
You have been in Otherworld as well.
Yes.
Do you remember gray wastes, plains that stretch in all direction?
My memories are a little hazy, but that does sound familiar. I've always heard stories about the visions that people see when they perish.
How
I
long did
believe-
you wander?
It felt like it could have been a minute, could have been a day.
I thought I was dead for a long time. It was not pleasant.
What did you see?
Flames. All right, so folks are taking long rests. Is
Hey.
anyone not taking a long rest?
Cecilia.
Celia.
And she's probably not drinking any tea.
I'm gonna
No.
need
Artemisia would offer
I'm gonna
to her.
need Cecilia to make a Constitution saving throw to avoid becoming exhausted.
And
Come on,
Okay.
come on. 13.
All right, you've been up now for a couple of days, but you're still going. You're still
To
okay.
be fair, Artemisia drugged me, so I did sleep.
That is true. Okay, so it's really only been like one day. Okay, yeah, you're,
She's
you're
young.
still
She can
good.
handle it.
Okay.
I would die.
Okay.
and Rogar cast Mass Cure Wounds before, like while we were all gathered together before
Okay.
everyone disperses to their
Rogar.
thing. So 27, 20 restores 27 hit points.
Okay. All right. Are any of you going to do anything that evening, or are you just gonna rest up and head out in the morning?
I feel like Cecilia is going to sit in the same room as Lazar and keep eyes on him.
Okay.
Because she feels mostly confident that this deal is locked, but she does not trust him even a little bit.
At some point, Ruan comes into the room and joins you. And he just sits there quietly. He doesn't say anything unless you address him.
I feel like Cecilia is mostly alone with her thoughts. Part of me feels like she probably has more to say to her father, but she does not know what any of that is. She is mostly just worrying about Sarshan. And I think actually at some point she is going to take out the Pact Blade and see if she can get Sarshan's sword again
Yep.
and check it.
You manifest it very easily.
Is it still flaming?
Yep, but the flames are a little diminished.
Ah!
Like they're just flickering like
She's gonna
candlelight in the
like
room.
sit there and stare at it and like will it to get brighter, which it's not, I assume, going to do, but it is the thing in her head.
Okay. At some point, Ruan comes over and sits by you and puts his hand on your hand. He doesn't even look at you. He just sits there and just sits with you. Okay.
That's probably a good choice.
I feel like Artemisia, since Cecilia is elsewhere, she might try to grab at least Stong and sort of whoever else wants to have a group conversation without Cecilia.
Okay.
Also, she will probably need to feed Mitzi. Right in the kitchen.
That's fair enough.
Because I'm sure Mitzi will tell her that she's
Yep.
very hungry.
Yeah, at some point, Artemisia has been sleeping, and then there's like this weight on your head, and you wake up, and Mitzi is just staring down at you. You haven't had a cat before, huh? She says.
Don't you eat mice? Like, you
Oh,
get a mouse.
please. Do I look like a mouser?
or sparrows or something. I don't know. Well, all right. We can go to the kitchen.
Oh, finally.
Rogar was gonna seek it anyway, make sure. He was gonna like check in on everybody.
Mitzi
Yeah.
would like you to know that she has never eaten before, and she would like to try it at least once before she dies.
All the things about cat ownership that Artemisia is learning.
Okay.
Sturge will step outside, stretch his legs, walk around the grounds. He would also like to go to the Black Boot and meet one of the. We don't have to play this out, but we can just say he did it. He needs to pick up some makeup and things, stage makeup that he
Okay.
lost when his valise was destroyed. So he's just going to go there. He knows some actors who hang out in the Black Boot, especially in the evening hours. There's a drow there who's an actor, and he might be able to pick up a few things from them and come back.
Sure. Yeah, when you go there, that woman with the tattoos, Lady Blackblade, is there, drinking and laughing uproariously with the other people.
Interesting.
We seem to have been. This is like the after party of a show.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they welcome you. They wave you over because you're an actor and their friend.
Sure. Raise a glass to Halal, the patron of such endeavors, new creations, new performances.
Indeed, she says, to Halal and an Arab and a lesser of both.
You will ask her about the significance of the ravens, just in passing.
The 2 times I sold my soul to the Raven Queen.
Oh, interesting. Wait, you sold it once and you sold it again? How'd you get it back?
That is a long story.
Wow, it must be worth the hearing.
All my stories are worth the hearing.
I sincerely hope you'll be here when I return, and whenever I return. Days, I think, maybe weeks. Do you plan to stay?
Perhaps.
Well.
This is my sort of city, even if it is a material one. I haven't been to the realms in quite some time. Not since my former crew and I saved the universe. Anyway, it's not important. All my stories are worth a hearing.
Wait, you saved the universe too. We should compare stories.
Don't tell me that you are a godling who has not yet come into its power. I've met too many types like that. Yeah, you understand.
God in hiding. God in hiding.
God in hiding, is it? I knew a God in hiding once. He tried to kill me, and then I tried to kill him, and then we slept together for some time, and then I did kill him.
Well,
It
took
was
his
all
cape.
this time.
I took his cloak, in fact. She then brushes this cloak that she's wearing.
Start to steal the cloak.
George will stand and drain his cup and say, I sincerely hope you're here upon my return in some manner of weeks. If you should like a room to stay in, I have a room in the Purple Lady. Is that what it's called? God, it's been so long.
It has.
The
It is.
Purple Lady.
What a genteel invitation.
Tell Shay I said so, and she'll give you the key. It's plain but comfortable.
Well, I appreciate your hospitality. I was going to have to seduce one of these actors. I never seem to make arrangements ahead of time,
Why would you? That takes all the fun out of it. And then Sturge leaves.
All right. Okay. Anything else that evening?
So Artemisia was gonna pull aside whoever, Stong and Rogar, or if Stong doesn't want to, she just talk to Rogar. But she's looking for whoever's around.
And Rogar was looking for whoever's around. So,
I do think that Stong is snoring quite content.
Sturge is, if he's there, he's game for, he's up for learning.
Okay. Well, we can meet in like the library or something, just real quick, because Artemisia wants to sort of warn all of you. So Sturge, Cecilia said that you had this idea that our mother was an illusion that was cast.
Seemed to make sense at the time. I'm not quite as certain of it anymore.
I know it wasn't, but I think that that's what we should go with. And I think that would help Cecilia, because apparently there's some promises that Cecilia made about if she met our mother and like just so she doesn't have to deal with those right now, if she's
Well,
just an
I'm sorry.
illusion.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. She promised who? What?
Well, you know that she really doesn't like anybody telling anything about her. So,
You know, I'm getting a bit sick of all the secrets. We're friends. And if it bears upon our well-being and hers, can we dispense with the secrecy?
I think we should.
okay, she's gonna look at Stong like when she actually says it, because she figured Sturge would say that. But if Stong is like for this plan, then she's gonna go with it.
And Stong
So
isn't really a secret keeper, so he's been trying to like, he's just like looking another direction, like he's pretending like he's not part of this conversation right now. But he said, you know, he agrees. Like,
yeah.
it'd be better not to keep secrets between us.
Well, it's just I'm trying to help her. I want that to be clear for when this inevitably goes awry. So her pact with the heart of the piercing. Apparently, part of that is when she meets Skaha, she has to kill her. And I told Skaha to stay away from her, and obviously that hasn't happened and it's not gonna happen because
You talked to Skaha?
yes.
Does
What?
Cecilia know you talked with Skaha?
I think she could figure it out. I tried not to say as much. So if we all pretend like that wasn't Skaha, then it makes life simple, right? Cecilia doesn't have to keep her promise yet. And I warned Skaha that she should keep away. So maybe that will happen. Artemisia doesn't look like she thinks it will, but
Do
why?
you know what happens if she fulfills her promise and kills Skaha?
I mean, so okay, Stong. Cecilia is very strong, but do you really think that her against the Spear Witch, Cecilia would win? I don't think I would
maybe
win.
not alone, but that's why we have each other, right?
I can't try to kill my birth mother.
Point of inquiry.
Maybe if we
Did she promise that she would kill her on sight, or does she have some leeway? Maybe when she's more powerful, she can kill her. It doesn't have to be today or the next time she sees Skaha.
It sounded like on sight to me, which is kind of dumb because then, like, the heart of the piercing is kind of setting her up to fail, right?
So who's the heart of the piercing?
Her patron for her magic.
Patron for her magic.
Because she's a warlock, not a witch. Were you?
Oh,
We're catching everybody up today.
I thought warlocks were like you gave your soul to a devil and they gave you power.
It's kind of like that, isn't it? I mean,
it's more like you make a pact and you borrow upon their power. There's actually a lot of warlocks that don't traffic with devils specifically. There are
She
good
doesn't seem
warlocks
like
in the
so.
world that
Why?
might create a pact with something even as benign as like a unicorn.
Whoa.
I don't
Okay.
think the
Borrowing
heart of the
power.
piercing is benign, but I don't think she's a devil either.
Oh.
To
Well,
be
she wants
honest,
to-
I don't know what she is. I've never
But-
heard of her before.
So her patron wants her to kill her mother.
Apparently.
But
Well,
her patron isn't bad?
so
Does that mean her mother is bad?
the heart of the piercing has some kind of beef with Skaha.
Okay.
So
What kind of beef? Like wait, I don't think.
she wants her dead, apparently, by her own daughter's hand. So
Aye.
I
Okay.
I don't know this for sure. Artemisia, now this is clearly an idea that Artemisia's had. She thinks she's got it all figured out, so she's going to present it to y'all. But I just want you to be aware that I know that this is not backed up entirely. I think what happened is that because Skaha said there was some kind of prophecy, and so I think the prophecy was that one of her own daughters was going to kill her. So she goes on and on about how she was keeping us safe from Heart of the Piercing, but I think that she was keeping herself safe, because she's like, oh no, the prophecy has come true, so now one of her daughters is going to try to kill her. So that's why she abandoned us, I think.
Clarification question. Are you two her only daughters?
Oh.
I mean, I presumably.
Maybe it's
'Cause
a
there's
different
Ruin.
Cecilia that will kill her.
What? We don't need more kids in this situation.
I love that Rogar has turned this all the way around. Oh, bless him.
Wow.
So
So
The only
everybody
thing-
knew but me? Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, Stone.
I mean, you were, I don't know. Maybe there was just never really a good time to tell you. You seemed like you were really working through some things on your own side.
I no. It's
Maybe
okay.
she didn't want to burden you.
She's very thoughtful like that. Aye.
So the only thing, though, Artemisia, is that
Hmm?
when she first talked to me about this, it didn't really sound like she wanted to not kill Skaha. So, do you think that she's okay with this pact? Like, why are we preventing her from reaching her own goals?
I think
Oh.
it's because Skaha is vastly more powerful. And unless we are there to help with fulfilling this goal for her, am I right, Artemisia? You're worried that our friend will die in the attempt.
Exactly.
And you have to think too, though, like Skaha, if she knew that Cecilia was supposed to kill her, she could have killed Cecilia when she was very little and had no power at all. So very
True.
easily, and she didn't. She tried to like give her a life, I think.
That's
I
true.
guess.
I'd rather. So maybe we can bring them together and like.
Well,
I think if they just talked. Like,
I mean, if like I ever thought that was possible, I could tell Skaha that, but I don't think it's possible right now.
Okay.
Cecilia said that she would rather it just have been an illusion. So I think that we
Okay.
should go with that it was an illusion, and we're not going to see that illusion anymore because I've warned her to stay away. So that just so you guys know.
Did you tell Skaha the danger she was in? The reason she must stay away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I presume she just thought, oh, well, Cecilia can try to kill me. But, you know, if she wanted to...
I'm not wild about deceiving a friend. I see no reason why it needs to be brought up again at all.
Okay, good.
Maybe we could like go and talk to this Heart of the Piercing for Cecilia and like get her to like change her mind.
Worse
about
and worse.
killing. No, okay.
yeah, we could bring her some gifts.
Yes, exactly. Oh,
Some of
Fine wine.
Rogar's famous tea cakes. Yes, I think that would work well.
hi. And
Well, if we were gonna do something together,
Aye.
and if Cecilia agreed, I would much rather we all get together to go ask the Heart of the Piercing if the pact could rest on something else.
sounds like a good idea.
Oh, I'm looking at Aaron's face.
I'm
here.
sorry. Shay just pointed out a logic loophole in Sturge's comments that just cracked me up. He's like, I'm not wild about deceiving a friend. One episode earlier, your dad totally lit himself on fire.
You know how I interpreted that? I caught that, and to me, I was like, does he not think we're all friends? Because he could totally make that statement true.
It's true.
It just feels different somehow.
Yeah.
Do what I say, not what I do.
So I
I
think
like
Stone
that.
is going to suggest that we should actually, since none of us seem to have heard of Heart of the Piercing,
Aye.
we should do some digging and figure out
Yes.
what this entity is, because these beings, these really powerful beings, they have to work by certain rules and they have certain preferences. So if you wanted to try to, change the deal or sweeten the deal or something, we need to figure out what would really entice her.
Whoa, that's good.
Yeah.
Aye.
Just so happens we are staying this evening in a library.
That's true.
I don't know about you, but I just died a day ago, so I really need my sleep. You
If we're
can
gonna
search the library.
we're gonna save Sarge, probably we should get our rest, but definitely afterwards. I know. So we tell her it's an illusion. We all agree.
Or we don't mention it.
We don't mention it.
We don't
Pretend
mention
it's
it.
an illusion. So because that's what
She
she needs
told me
to
that,
be at peace right now.
We can have Lazar, and she's not gonna come interfere. So,
Okay.
I really just wish we didn't have secrets between us.
This
Yeah.
isn't a secret, right? Is it? I thought she knew.
No,
She
we're
knows,
just-
but
we're-
she just is cheating
Yeah.
on it too. She told you
yeah.
to say it's
this is
an illusion.
one of those cognitive dissonance things. She knows something to be true and false at the same time. Willful
Aye.
ignorance by choice. Okay.
Aye.
Read about this before. All right.
Is that another branch of magic, cognitive dissonance, like enchanting and?
It's
okay.
something we studied in Bard College.
Oh, okay. Aye.
All the dissonance. Dissonance 4010. 40.
So we're
It was in the
Right.
chapter right after suspension of disbelief.
we're honoring what Cecilia wants by just going along with that it is that she was an illusion.
Yes.
And then we're going to bring tea cakes or something to the Heart of the Piercing and make everything good. Okay, I like
Yes.
this plan. And if that doesn't work, maybe we can get Skaha and the Heart of the Piercing and get them to talk together and work out whatever this is. Because obviously whatever they have going on is causing so much problems. I like this plan. This is very good. And
And
then he's gonna take-
we're not gonna kill Skaha, even if it's
well,
to
no,
help
she's your
Cecilia.
mother. We wouldn't kill your mother. Then he takes her hand and he says, how are you doing with all this Artemisia? She's your mother too. To have to to meet her, but then have to tell her to stay away. Are you doing all right?
Well, I mean, I have a different kind of magic, so I guess it. I don't know. I'm not part of this prophecy thing, so
But she's your mother. I don't understand what having different magic is. It? Do you? I guess. Are you okay?
Well, I mean, I bet Mitzi's hungry again, so I better go
Okay, I
feed her.
understand.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I think the only person here who really gets to decide whether or not she wants to go through with that, killing Skaha, is Cecilia. From the stories that I've heard from her, Skaha, was really awful. And so, I did not live her life. I did not experience those things. If she wants to do that, then I think I would support her.
I agree.
Until I see something otherwise, Artemis. I'm like inclined to believe the victim of Skaha's manipulations. I'm sorry.
You
I have
must
to be honest with you.
If you wish to lie to her, you'll have to bear that lie yourself.
But-
I'm tired of secrets and between friends, and lying makes it even worse.
But we are supporting Cecilia. I thought it was her desire to just pretend it was an illusion for now.
Yeah, I'm just saying if she ever goes for it, though, like, I just need to let Artemisia know
Oh.
where I stand.
Well, I will have to see what happens then.
And at that time, you're saying you would have to make a really tough choice? There is a choice there for you to make?
Bro, Storm, it's her mother too. It's her mother. And she, as I said, she could have killed them both or done something horrible, but she tried to leave them in a home where they would be raised, at least by their other parent.
I mean,
And
how much do you really know about her?
that's
Neither of
all I
you.
know about her. That I know two things: that she's horrible, but that she also saved her daughters and gave them to their fathers to raise.
But what if
she
she
didn't
was
like
just trying to save
toss
herself?
them on the side of the road. Or
I mean, if she was just trying to save herself,
if she was just trying to
then-
save herself, aye. But
then I mean, she deserves what she gets, I guess.
But does she
But-
deserve to be killed by her own children? And how is that going to affect? I just worry that maybe this, in the end, would not be the best thing for Cecilia or you. There has to be an answer. I support whatever you end up doing, but I hope we can find a better path. I will just say that.
Yes. So Stong, it would not be a choice. Obviously, I would help Cecilia, but I don't want to be in that position, which is why I'm trying to tell her to stay away. What I'm trying to do is make it so that it's not her or Cecilia. And
Yeah, I'm not trying to bring them together actively, but I'm just saying, you know, I support you in your endeavor, but at the end of the day, you know, when the chips fall, like I'm just letting you know which side of the line I'm on right now.
Well, obviously, I'm for Cecilia too.
Okay.
With some hardcore conflicted face.
Are you good? Going to
Yep.
bed? You're all
Yep.
very, very tired.
Fleeing.
Okay.
Fleeing to bed.
Okay, cool. All right. So, I know it's about time to take our break, but I have, I just want to get us to the next, to kick off the next scene, and then we'll take our break. So this will just take a couple minutes. All right. So, in the morning, I'm gonna gather all your tokens. Put them here. Niran suggests that you go ahead and use her teleportation circle. It's a circle of power, so it'll probably make your spell even more likely to function. Lazar says, "Oh, yes, thank you. You are so kind. You have such kind friends." He says that obviously to Cecilia without actually looking at her. She seems to get upset when he, looks at her. And anyway, he says, "All right, well, I have studied spell. Take a seat and circle around."
Real quick, Eric, one thing that Sturge wanted to do was locate a couple books that might have something about the Spear Witch in them with Mirren's help, and ask if he could borrow them.
Okay, make an Arcana check with advantage.
Do you want the Spear Witch or the Heart of the Piercing?
Part of the piercing, sorry.
No worries.
Books about the Heart of the Piercing, theoretically,
Yeah.
or Archfey related things. Yeah. Okay.
You're muted, Steven.
He's muted. Put that on your bingo card. Okay.
Yeah,
the-
hey, it happened.
Part of the piercing. Okay. Did that roll? I'm looking.
I don't see it.
Having trouble with that.
Anyway,
There.
go ahead and arrange yourselves in that circle, however you want to be arranged.
Okay.
Yeah, and just like errand wise, before Stong went to bed, he resummons the Pegasus, and then when he wakes up in the morning, he does ascending to Shiny, and he asks about Mirabelle and how
We should also do ascending to Caliph and make sure she's okay.
he also does that. Good call.
Okay.
Burning two
So-
sendings immediitely. Got
I
one.
mean,
left.
meta-wise, we all know she's fine because this is just because Emily's sick, but I feel like, in game, maybe we should be like, sorry, where did you go? Don't break the circle.
yeah, no, that makes sense. Yep, so he uses 2 sendings. I've got
Okay.
1 left.
Yeah, your reply that you get from Adrienne is, yes, we are perfectly fine. I have something important to talk to you about when we get back, but it's nothing to be worried about. Everything's fine.
And then does he just keep saying it's fine, it's fine, it's fine?
He says, we rescued several people today, and I think our daughter is on the path of good and righteousness. And that's it. The sending ends there. Adrian was never super good at figuring out how many words go into the sendings. So he was just kind of telling you random things until it ran out. So
Okay, then I guess Stong comes to the group and he's got like a big grin on his face.
Emily says, oh yeah, just doing some collecting. Or
Kayla.
sorry, Kayla says, oh yeah, just doing some collecting. I'll be there shortly though.
Okay. 25 Arcana.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, you find a book about dealing with the Fae that actually does have a reference to the heart of the piercing, although maybe not exactly in those words. It's actually called the piercing heart,
Okay. Great. So
which
I'll
means that
just-
it's either about the heart of the piercing or it's about a deer. It's hard to say.
Okay, so he's just gonna slip that in his new satchel, and when he has time, he'll read about it.
Okay. Alzar says, all right, if we are ready, produce the item.
Give him the feather.
I really hope this works because it will be very embarrassing if not. He sets it to floating right in front of him, and he starts intoning words to the spell. Blue mist starts flowing around you as the spell starts taking hold. To clarify, you are bringing ruin with you, yes? Or do you? I wanna
feel like
establish this.
That is to me up to Rogar. I think leaving someone behind to watch over us is a good thing. But if you want to bringing ruin is important, then Mirren can probably handle that. I just worry Mirren gets distracted.
We can leave. Ruan, watch
Okay.
over us, protect us.
He says, yes, I will stay behind. Good luck. Best to you, sister.
And I'm
Thank you.
trusting that you're gonna still be here when we get back.
I will still be here when you get back.
This is a double trust test. Still
I will
here.
not move
and
from
the
this
spear
spot.
witch isn't. Then he'll be working his way back up. Good gracious.
Well, I can't keep her from coming if she wants to come. And Mira says, oh, I can though.
Thank you, Mirren.
And Ren looks at her like, All right. Lazar keeps intoning the spell. The feather starts crackling with power. And he says, it is hard to find this other place. It is hard to draw the connection. So many worlds and options that this could be. Do you have something else, something more specific?
I don't.
I am seeing
She
so
pulls
many
out
places.
This she I don't. She has
You have-
Sarshan's sword, but that's not from that place. Is that
But-
plausibly?
But he's there.
Oh, but she has the mask.
Oh, nice.
She gives him the mask.
Mm.
Okay, so he holds the pieces of the mask. Unless
So we
you
fixed it.
You fixed it. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you fix it?
Sturge used like a mending spell, didn't he?
Numerous mending
no.
spells?
I
No?
don't have mending.
What did you do that
Stone
made it
has
go back
mending.
together? When I pulled the mask out, mask pieces out, someone clicked them all together.
Well-
Yes, but somebody else had mending, not me. I think it might have been.
Did you
Gil.
do that?
Stong is
So
mending.
was Song who did that?
Okay, Song
Okay.
mended it.
So yeah, the mask has numerous faint cracks in it, but it is still all together.
Stong is a dad to like a baby that can like cast fires. Of course, he would
Alright.
have mending.
I mean,
put-
Artemisia has mending too, but she
You put that mask in Lazar's outstretched hand, and he yanks his hand away as though you place something like a burning hot coal in his hand. Says, "Why? Why would you hand me that thing?
Wait, what is it?
That's just a spear witch's mask. Why would you hand that to me?"
What? That is not what I thought it was.
Oh.
Why is the Golden Raven wearing the Spear Witch's mask?
Are they the
Oh.
Stong's
Suddenly
head
I'm
just
much more
exploded.
okay.
His-
with
Like,
killing
wait,
her.
what?
His hair is starting to turn slightly gray, and he says, "I need something.
Okay.
Otherwise the
She's gonna
spell will
pull out
fail."
the packed blade and try that. Hand that to him.
Okay, you hand that to him, and it starts burning with the blue flame. And he says, "Yes, well, this certainly narrows it down." And he finishes the spell, and suddenly you are surrounded by filmy blue curtains, it seems. And you are standing in a room with numerous veils of blue diaphanous cloth, silks, cotton, other fabrics that you don't recognize.
This is nice.
Lazar says, yes, we must. He rises from where he was sitting, and he says, "We must push through the veils and we find this other world.
Which one?
Come with me." Because he holds out the sword, and it moves of its own accord, pointing through the silks.
Be
And
careful with that.
it's very heavy. I did not think you for a sword wielder.
It's not mine.
Oh, well, that
I
makes
have
sense.
this. Boom.
And the axe appears as well. So you are now bonded to two weapons. Right.
If it does not need to be here because obviously you're trying to break for a scene, but he would recognize that axe.
Yep.
So just gonna remind
Okay.
him.
He does. It's a faint little shiver. Okay. And then you follow him through the blue veils until you come to another world. Your vision clears gradually, and this is what you see. You stand among broken, burned out buildings in a benighted nightmare vision of Westgate. Darkness rules over the streets that are tight and narrow labyrinth of streets as smoke rises from the boarded up buildings and a number of burning towers of crackling wood send smoke up into the air. The few people you see huddle away from your attention, hurrying on to avoid catching your eye. Though it should be morning or midday, still everything is dark, and you feel an oppressive weight pressing down upon you. You glance upward. You see a massive clanking chain that rises up from the ground up into the sky. You follow the chain to its zenith, and your breath catches at the sight. A massive object of some kind floats over the city, blocking out the reddish sun. The thing resembles a mountain more than a living being, but then you see its massive claws and voracious mouth full of teeth, longer than you are tall. Powerful chains connect the beast to the land, snaking up to its limbs. You remember with some horror where you've seen this thing before. And sure enough,
Oh my god.
it is the astral dreadnought.
Hello, old friend.
And here it is held prisoner.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
You pause for a moment, taking that in. And you hear a cackling sound.
That's never good.
One after another, a series of figures land upon the roofs around you. There's one. I'll describe these in a moment. They land upon all around you on the rooftops, statues, and even one on the nearby chain. There, the creatures perch like crows, peering down through glowing, hateful eyes. And it is at that point that we will take our break. I'll just put these out here so
Cool.
people can see as they appear.
I just want to say that was really cool cinematic. That was like, as soon as the giant chain came out, I was like, this is like super anime. Anime
You're not wrong, my
9000.
friend.
Yeah, and then
Oh my God.
shoot people on the rooftop.
Yeah,
Standing
Yeah.
over you, peering down like
yeah.
birds of prey.
Yep.
And
Go
queue
up
us
to-
up for 10 minutes. And
Do we have a chat topic?
yes.
You had an astral dreadnought on a chain. What
man.
would you do with it?
Also, what welcome gift would you bring? The heart of the piercing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, there we go. She's
Okay.
an archfey. She likes ice and hunting and prophecy.
And
Uh-huh.
wolves.
Is that her
Interesting.
Twitter profile?
Yeah, pretty much.
Her dating profile. Nice. Okay.
I called her in the one of those shorts I did. The wolf. The other name they give her is the wolf that hunts time itself. So
a cool
have
name.
fun. Have
That
fun.
is such a cool name.
Hey, we're back. Welcome. So, hey,
Oh man.
I'm just gonna. During the break, I hit my head on part of our fence,
Oh no!
one of those overhang pieces.
Oh,
And there's like a piece of wood that is attached to it, but not very well. So it comes off and then just kind of sits there just waiting for me. So if you see this bruise developing on my forehead, that's because I just clocked myself real bad.
Oh,
Jeez.
Eric,
Sorry.
we had a raid of 18 come in just as you started that story.
Hey,
Everybody knows.
this is like when you're DMing and you might have a concussion. All right, here we go.
Welcome, Raiders.
Okay.
Pour some bourbon on it. Oh,
What
fine.
could go wrong?
Yeah. Our good friends
All
over at
right,
Epic
so-
Realms just raided us.
I'm seeing one.
Oh, nice. Epic Realms.
Hey, Epic Realms, we've just transported via the Dream of the Blue Veil into another world.
All right. One after another, a series of figures land all around you on the rooftops, statues, and even one on the nearby chain. There, the creatures perch like crows, peering down through the gloom with burning eyes. There are 5 of them. One right here. And I will describe them in clockwise order. Okay, so here, and then here, and so forth. Okay? Here we go.
Very small one and a very big one.
There is a very, very large one, yes. The very, very large one, who is, the most obvious one, is a mass of scars and rippling muscles studded with barbs and spines.
Hmm.
She resembles maybe a tiefling or some kind of fiendish creature with curving horns, one of which remains but a bristling stump. She wears a network of silver chains corded around flesh as tough and thick as plates of blackened steel. Her crimson eyes burn like distant flames, and the axe she wields in both hands leaks burning blood that sizzles as it strikes the ground. She looks down at the group of you and cackles. She
It's good to
says,
be happy.
she was right. She was right. This one, the one to the right. This shapely woman seems dressed for a festival revel rather than a battle, clad in scant white silks, silver chains, numerous piercings, and little else. Her pale body is covered over with intricate black and silver tattoos, which glimmer in any faint light. The hilts of several blades bristle over her shoulder, and her predatory grace with which she moves suggests she knows well how to use them. Her scarlet painted lips curl in a faint, mocking smile. She shakes back her flowing crimson hair, and her dark eyes crackle with an intense madness. I want to point out each of them is wearing a mask. The tiefling woman is wearing a white wooden mask with red markings, a bit similar to Cecilia's mask. This woman over here, who I just described, is wearing a shockingly black laughing mask, like a theater mask that has a smile on it. And she says, "Oh yes, she's always right. She knows what she speaks of."
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
Is the mask covering her face because you were talking about her lipstick, or is it like a half mask?
You can kind of see her lips through the smile.
Okay, so it's like cut open. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, this one down here. Oh man, I wish I put these in a better order in my notes. Okay, this woman moves in utter silence, not even seeming to breathe. Black leathers wrap her slender frame, stitched with yellowing white stitches from 1,000 cuts and scrapes. Her cloak seems just as worn, tattered, and torn, seeming to blend in with the gloom around her. A long, narrow sword hangs from her belt, weeping black flames where the crossguard meets the scabbard. Her silver mask bears a profoundly sad expression. She says absolutely nothing and just stares at you quietly. This one looks like a robed figure. She's wearing a green robe that looks well made, made of silk, and she is also wearing a mask. Let's see my notes here. Oh no, that's the one with the white mask that has the red markings on it. The tiefling's mask is a skull that looks like a dragon's skull. So, okay.
Does it
Sorry about
look
that.
like what's Artemisia's dragon boyfriend's name? Zardoc?
Zarcast.
Zarcast. Does it look like Zarcast's bone
Well,
structure?
it is shaped a little bit like bone structure. Nice. It is shaped a little bit like a red dragon. You do notice that you do know Artemisia as a, shall we say, connoisseur of all things dragon. You do know that the various chromatic dragons have different skull shapes. Mm-hmm. Like black dragons have the horns coming down this way. Red dragons have kind of upswept brows with horns coming out, and it looks most like a red dragon skull.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Does it seem like a young red dragon?
I mean, it's sized for like a large creature. And then there's this one finally over at the far left.
One up on the chain.
The one up on the chain. And my notes here. Oh, come on. I know I have you there. A finely muscled half-elven woman with long gray, red, and blonde hair tied together in a helix. She knocks an arrow on the string of a bow made of bone and rusted metal. She wears tattered bits of leather, steel, and bone fashioned in a patchwork suit with cast-off armor, and strings of teeth rattle where they hang around her neck, waist, and wrists. Her mask is that of a bird of prey, its mouth curled as if in disgust. And she says, "Why waste words? Just kill them already. They're in the way." All right. And it is at that point
Okay.
that you hear footsteps, and
Can I cast Armor of Agathis? Since that's a lot happening.
sure, you can start.
I would
start
absolutely like
armoring
to
up.
cast Armor of
Yeah.
Agathis.
So we'll let you all take an action before the next thing happens.
Okay.
Just to be clear,
It's just a lot of description I had to get through.
If any of us takes any damage, we
Yep.
poof back.
Yep.
That's what Lazar said. And
And
if
if he
Lazar
takes
himself takes
damage,
damage, it ends the
We
spell for
all
everyone.
get poofed back. Technically, we didn't give him the antidote yet, so we might be able to get him to do this again. But I don't know that we want that to be our first plan.
Rogar quickly cast calm emotions. Everybody calm down. And then he says, hello, we're just passing through.
So what's the range of effect of calm emotions?
Hey, more
It is,
raiders.
Hey!
Welcome, the Alexandrian.
It's a 20-foot radius.
So where are you going to center it?
Well, I'll just say wherever I can get the most of these buggers. I guess up here. where
Well,
there's-
if you do that, you're
three.
probably going to hit yourselves, right?
You know, we don't want to be hostile anyway, do we? Because if
feel
we
like-
fight, fight, we're just gonna get kicked out of here. But
I feel like that is totally on brand for Rogar.
Yeah.
He's like, we should all calm down.
aye. We cannot fight. If we fight, then we disappear and we can't get Sarshan. So if we're fighting, then we've already lost, basically. Did they seem to be deferring? Like when she said, "Let's just kill them all," did she seem to be like speaking to one of them? Like do they seem to be deferring to a specific one?
No, they
Okay.
do not seem to be in any sort of order or hierarchy.
Okay, so there's the
An
three
autonomous
like along the top.
Just like us.
Aye, that seem to be more or less clustered. I don't see the other two, to be honest. I see the one on the chain, the one
There's
on the
one
roof.
right here,
Yep.
one right here,
Yep.
one right here,
Oh, there he is.
one right here,
Oh, look at that.
and one right here.
Oh, that's lovely. All right, so maybe like right around there where it would catch this one, and this one. Does that like work? Put it like target in the middle between them, and that should be about a 20 foot.
Okay, well, when you target this one, she casts counterspell.
Oh, I might want to counterspell for something else later. But
Okay.
I'm gonna try to counterspell with counterspell.
You are?
Yes.
Okay.
Just flex those spellcaster muscles early on.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's the game, folks.
So they are going to make charisma saving throws, and if you centered it to hit each of them, yeah, you could hit these two, and you could hit the big one without hitting the rest of the party. So it looks like, well, hold on.
They're
Like if you-
according to the measurement, it's a little tight.
Let's see. So like 20.
These squares are supposed to be 5 feet each, not 10 feet, and it's
Oh.
measuring it as though they're 10 feet. So
Oh, my apologies.
yeah, that's a fault of the map. I apologize. It's my fault. Okay, so those 3 witches all make saving throws. Here we go. What's your DC?
17.
17. Okay.
Aye.
All 3 of them did make it.
Oh, that's fine. Hopefully me singing to them and saying, let's just all come down. We're just passing through,
So
has
that the
desired
big one
effect.
starts laughing. Oh, it's been a while since someone's tried to do that to me.
That's a
Do their
shame.
voices sound familiar?
This one, yeah, vaguely familiar. This one over on the right says, now, devastation. Be welcoming to our guests. They have come a long way from another world, another time.
Third
Devastation.
time.
And she says, I don't care. I want to crush them beneath my heels. I want to drink their blood.
No. We're not here for that. No. Oh man, I don't
Make
even
an
know how
insight
to
check, Stong.
negotiate with these people.
Yeah, Stong was going to ask for the right to parlay.
Oh, wait on
4.
Stong's insight check.
4.
Stong, you think those voices sound vaguely familiar, but like just real scary and upsetting.
Listen, we don't have to get into anything here. We're passing through, we're looking for somebody, something.
As soon as Cecilia starts talking, all 5 of them look at her directly.
So we'll just head on our way. We definitely don't have anything you want, since we're not technically here.
And this one says, that is the one. She is the one.
No. Definitely
And
not.
this one says,
Definitely not.
So I can't kill her, but the others I could kill, right?
We're just, like I said, passing through. You don't want to mess with us.
This one goes,
There's nothing beneficial about
disgusting.
messing with us.
All right. Any other actions from the group?
Do any of us, the rest of us, get an insight check trigger here?
Not yet, no. You can make your persuasion check though, Cecilia, because you are trying to persuade them to just let you pass.
22.
Oh, it's pretty good. They haven't attacked you yet.
Right.
Oh, do I have Ruin's token in the map? Because you did bring him.
You have
That's right.
Ron's and you have Calith's, actually.
And Calith is not there either. Okay.
I mean, Artemisia would be trying to help Cecilia with the persuasion if she can.
What are you saying?
I mean, do we look like we would be much like fun to? I mean, just let us go on our way, because I mean, you're obviously gonna win, but we.
How
like, we'd be
ironic
a
that
lot
it's
of
her
trouble.
that says that, says the one in white.
Ugh, you're doing that thing that.
Listen, they look very small? Are they like halflings, or you said they're half elves?
Well, they vary. This
okay.
one is really huge, a hulking,
Right.
fiendish creature. This one is a
Yes.
half elf. This one appears to be fae of some kind. This one also appears to be fae of some extraction. This one is the most shaped like a human woman.
Okay.
Okay, well,
You can banish 2 of them.
if there are no other actions,
Stone casts greater invisibility. Him and the Pegasus both become invisible.
you brought the Pegasus.
Oh yeah, I mean, why not?
Oh boy.
Sitting on the
Okay.
Pegasus.
Yeah.
Should we draw it?
I'll find a
It's such
token
a
for it.
beautiful-
Oh no,
It's
let's Steven draw it again.
yeah.
Sturge will. Dang it.
It's much easier for me and less distracting when I have an actual token rather than a drawing.
So, Cecilia, I would. Oh man, there's no real good like protecting space, but I feel like she's gonna step in front of Lazar, because if Lazar gets hit, this stops.
Yeah, Sturge is going to go invisible, but he's going to stay. He's going to keep a hand on Lazar so he knows that Sturge is there, and also, and just say, "I'm going to try to protect you, old man, just for a change.
Oh, how kind of you.
Don't get used to it."
I won't.
We're gonna is there so we didn't really like sit down and like discuss what we were gonna do once we got here. So I don't think we have a plan for where we're heading. And this whole city, there's not a part that seems like we would want to walk toward it. Except I
Yeah.
guess a little bit, not the Astral Dreadnought.
Well,
This
I feel
entire city is like a shady dark alley that we like don't use.
so. I feel
but-
like rope. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say north is my best guess based on the number of these I keep wanting to call them urchins, but they're definitely not. These witches, I believe
Witches.
Eric said, that there's less of them to the north. So
Yeah, Rogar. I feel like Rogar would have mentioned, because he prepped it when he went to sleep, and then got up thinking that he memorized locate creature.
Hey.
So if Sarshan's within 1,000 feet, he should be able to tell which direction he's in.
Okay, well, you did just try and cast calm emotions, so you can't do anything right now. I want to know if Sturge is going to do something.
he's invisible.
He turned invisible? Okay.
Invisible, and he told Lazar,
Stong also turned invisible,
yeah.
right? Okay. And you told Lazar that you were going to protect him.
I said, yeah, I have my hand on him so he knows I'm there, and I just said, I'm going to try to protect you just this once.
What an excellent plan. Okay, it is at that point, as you're having this kind of standoff with these people, that two figures come out of the alley behind you
Oh, good.
and then freeze. Okay, so this one right here looks like just kind of a young human man dressed in kind of dark leathers with a sword at his belt. And he goes, whoa. This one, a young a woman with dirty blonde hair, also in dark leathers, with a short sword at her belt, says, "Ho, other way," and they start heading back.
Bad sign.
Except that the woman looks at your party and she says, "Well, are you coming or what?"
I mean,
yeah.
Artemy's like, we walk away from these people, or are they going to attack us? So I guess like we walk away, but Cecilia is
Fiendish
walking
woman
backwards.
starts growling.
Backing away, backing
backing away.
away.
Okay.
Got a big old axe. Just like,
What did you mean by ironic?
And you're gonna start fleeing?
Yes.
yeah, I think so. We don't want to get hit, but
Yeah.
I do really want to know what that was all about.
Okay.
So
The woman in white says, "Oh, I do still love it when they run."
Oh my god. I am desperately trying to figure out a way to break this chain, but I can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
I don't want to rain on your parade, but there are 4 chains. You're only near one of
4
them.
chains.
Oh.
The thing is really big.
Okay. I won't,
So, I mean, freeing the Astral Dreadnought is not outside the realm of possibility.
yeah, now I need to figure out a way how to break 4 chains at once. Okay,
Yep.
I'll think some more.
All right.
do them one at a time.
So you start running through this whole city of dark, twisting, labyrinthine alleys, and the witches pursue you.
Oh, I'm glad I started out in front.
Okay, so
Everyone starts passing me.
we're doing a chase scene. So in this chase scene, you're going to tell me what you do to try and get up ahead of them, or leave them behind, or make some space, and you're going to make checks to do that. So
Oh no.
should I have people do initiative? Would that make sense? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it probably would. Okay, so I'm gonna, go ahead and roll initiative.
Cecilia was very distracted by the fact that we didn't actually make a plan about what we were going to do once we got here.
Remember to
then
click on your
suddenly-
Remember to click
Suddenly.
on your token before you roll.
There's a
That
that didn't seem like such a big deal before, but now it's like, I don't know where we're running to except away.
Okay. I appear to be missing an initiative.
I think it's because of the windows.
Oh, I don't actually have Stong's initiative because you keep rolling with the camera. So
Yeah, I think that it gets confused because of that. So okay, got it.
okay, there we go. All right. So,
Oh, you gave him the worst one. Come on.
all right,
Hilarious.
What's the
Artemisia.
difference?
Artemisia, you, what do you do first? So
Uh,
there are lots of things you could do. You could send an attack spell back at them. You could try and cast a defensive spell. You could just run. You could fly. You could telekinesis your way through. Whatever you want to do.
I mean, I'm thinking that she's going to get the telekinesis spell set up, and she's going to use sorcery points to extend it. So then she can use it on her. She can use it on like Rogar or somebody, or so it's there and it's going when she needs it.
All right. What do you do with it on the first round?
Go forward. Is that
Eugene
what she-
Gray it. Okay.
Yeah.
You propel yourself forward. All right. I'm going to need you to make an Arcana check. Or rather, you can just make a spell level check, which is essentially an attack.
Okay. That is 28.
Okay. So you're looking at the witches. You're like, what did you mean by, and then zoom, you just zip off.
Feel free to yell your answer after me.
Artemisia goes flying after the young people who came out of the alley.
Yeah.
The dude at the front, he's saying, "Why are there 5? There was supposed to be 1." And the woman says, "Less talk, more run." Rogar, what do you do?
Everybody be more specific.
Rogar. Okay. Rogar casts Sanctuary on Lazar,
Okay.
Ooh,
Ah.
good move.
and then because he figures even if that causes him to get booted out, at least maybe. Yeah, and then he'll book it. On
Okay.
more. So he's.
So you're gonna move. Okay.
He's in this technically the same spot as Artemisia, but I guess you can't both fit there. So.
All right. Cecilia.
Cecilia is going to cast a spell that has failed her before and hopefully won't this time. Enemies abound.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna hit the big one because it's okay. This might be a little judgmental, but we're in a tense situation. It's an intelligence save, and
She doesn't look that smart.
hoping that one put more effort into muscles than brains.
I think you're accurately predicting her abilities. Yep. She
DC.
does not make her save.
Okay, so
She rolled a 17 and she still did not make her save.
see, Dad, I can too, man. To be clear, it does automatically succeed if it's immune to being frightened. I did not know that. But it loses the ability to distinguish friend from foe. All creatures it can see are enemies until the spell ends. Each time the target takes damage, it can repeat the saving throw. If it succeeds, it ends the effect.
All right. She is not
so-
immune to being frightened.
Great. So when it chooses a target, it has to choose a target at random from among the creatures it can see within the range of the attack, spell, or other ability it's using. If it provokes an opportunity attack,
Oh,
they have
shit.
to make that attack.
Okay.
Then
She was going to leap down and attack you, but she lurches back, looking confused for a second, and then fixes on the woman in white over here, who goes, "Oh no." And then she leaps over and smashes into the building hard enough to shatter the roof. The woman in white leaps back, swearing in what sounds like some kind of dark elvish dialect.
I would also like to run.
Yep.
I think Cecilia would grab Lazar's arm and
Okay.
try to pull him with her. I don't
Yep.
know if he'll
That's fine.
come, but that's her aim there.
Yep. He comes along with you,
Okay.
making a grunt of approval. Yeah. All right. Sturge. You're invisible.
Yep. I was. All right. I'm just gonna.
You were also holding on to Lazar. Are you pulled along? Or are you playing Snap the Whip?
I mean, that's the idea. I'm staying with them, and I'm just poking my eye. I'm looking around for something to counterspell. I know we're right under someone, and if they're going to cast a spell, I'm going to try to counterspell it or cast a spell magic. Basically, I'm in defensive mode.
So yeah, okay. So you look up at this person.
Yep.
Make an insight check.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That is.
Oh.
Okay.
I
That
want
person,
us to figure out what's going on so bad.
that person stares down at you silently through their crying mask and does absolutely nothing.
Do they seem to be looking at me, or are they looking at Lazar?
She's looking at the whole group passing her by.
Okay. I'm just going to keep my eyes on her because she's the most, obviously, the closest. And I'm just ready to, basically, I'm readying I guess Counterspell is
It's just a reaction, so you don't need to ready it.
so I don't need to ready it. Okay.
Okay. The insight check was basically your action.
Okay.
Okay. Stong. Pegasus is right there. You're invisible next to the Pegasus.
Oh, okay. So, ideally, he wanted to like get on the Pegasus, then cast Guard Invisibility, so that it affects
That's okay.
both of them.
I'll let you do that. All right. You are both invisible.
Okay.
I will make the Pegasus movable by you.
Oh, okay, cool. So, I think Stong wants to take to the air, and then he's going to take a look at the situation from above, and he's going to look for plants. Are there like plants growing around? Like I see some things that look kind of like grass. Maybe there's like vines on the buildings, some wheat.
Tenacious moss.
The world appears to be dried and dead.
Dried and dead, huh? Okay. Well, he has.
There's more burned wood than whole wood.
So, last book 2, I picked up a piece of wood that had some mold on it from inside of the Night Mask hideout.
Yes.
Do you think I could fling that and then use that to plant growth?
Okay.
Rule of cool. Rule of cool.
Sure.
Okay, sure. I just want to cast plant growth, basically. And it requires a plant. It requires a plant.
Well, you are carrying a plant. Where do you
okay.
want to cast it?
He's going to cast it basically like almost right underneath him, and then it's got, I believe it's 100-foot radius.
I believe you are correct.
Wow.
Yeah, it is 100 foot.
So you're gonna plug up like this whole area.
Yeah, the only area I'm gonna exclude.
Here. Do you want to plug up your escape route?
I'm not gonna plug up the escape route. If I can, I would love to plug up the roofs. Like if I can get it to like creep up.
Yeah, the plant growth covers over the roofs as well.
Okay.
Wow.
What is it? It's like a mold?
It
Yes.
is the cold damage mold.
Oh my god.
The
Okay.
one that almost killed Sturger and somebody.
Oh my
All right.
my God.
So
The yellow stuff?
The yellow stuff.
Oh no! So we see this like yellow goop spreading
all
behind
right.
us.
You know what else has a 100-foot radius? Rogar's pride and admiration of this move by Sam.
It's been a season. I've been saving this piece of mold forever.
So the mold starts growing here, and just amazingly quickly just spreads down these alleys up onto the chain, onto this roof, over here, everywhere.
Your highlighting is not showing up on my screen, just so you know.
Oh,
Whoa.
there it is.
But that does.
Just got
Okay.
real moldy.
Gracious.
Okay.
Sturger, you're having like
Flashbacks.
flashbacks.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I definitely
Okay.
exclude Sturge though. So not trying damage, my buddy.
All
Oh,
right.
wait, do I know
So
he's there?
no, no.
Oh boy. Sorry, buddy.
So this witch, the one over on the chain, springs above where the mold is starting to grow onto this other roof, and the mold starts creeping up there too. So she casts a spell and levitates up into the air. And she says a single word. She says, "Disgusting." That's it for what she does. This witch makes a little eep sound and disappears.
Good.
This witch moves out of the way of the mold, but otherwise doesn't do anything. These two are fighting up here. And that's it. Artemisia's turn. So you have foiled your pursuit for a round. Oh, Stong, I assume the Pegasus is starting to fly
Yeah.
away. Where are you going?
Bonus action dash. He will fly right over here next to Rogue.
Okay,
Oh, hello, Stone.
You don't know him
there
there.
we go.
Oh, okay.
He's invisible.
He's invisible,
that's right.
and the Pegasus is invisible. Although okay, you cast greater invisibility, right? So that
Yeah.
didn't end the spell. Okay,
So,
Artemisia, you are telekinesising yourself.
Yep.
The two hooligans continue to run on. The guy says, "I didn't think the trap would be that effective. How was I to know? Where did these people come from?" And she says, "Who cares? We need to get out of here. We could maybe take on one witch, but not 5.
Oh,
Okay.
so they're talking about the witches. So is Rogar keeping up? Because that's what Artemisia is most worried about, is that Rogar will start falling behind because of his just the right height.
yeah,
I'm
that's
keeping
why
up
Stong's
pretty well.
flanking him.
I'm probably holding up whoever's behind me if there's not. Well, they could get around me. Probably.
He's doing okay so far."
Okay, because she was gonna switch the telekinesis to him and run herself if necessary, but otherwise she's just gonna keep Jean Graying on board.
Rogar really likes his feet on the ground. So as a dwarf, he likes that. sense
She's
of
she's
earth
gonna
under him.
yell at the young people too, like, "Where are you taking us? Or where are
Okay.
you leading us?"
Go ahead and make another one of those arcane checks, please.
Okay. Okay. So 26.
Okay. Yep, you continue on your way through. Basically keeping very good pace with them. And the man looks back over his shoulder and says, "Somewhere safe, to safety." And the girl says, "Don't talk to them. We don't know them." All right, Rogar.
Trap talk has me nervous. I guess Cecilia has not heard that.
They were trapping the witches, though.
That's fair.
All right. Rogar glanced behind him as he's running down the alley. Is Sturge like in real danger of being swallowed?
You
You
can't,
can't
see him.
see Sturge.
We've
I
lost
can't- I
Sturge.
cannot see some.
You can
Okay.
see a huge wave of mold starting to come after you, though.
Whoa, that's no good. All right, so.
No, not especially. Oh man, enough bourbon in my head doesn't hurt anymore. This is awesome. All right.
How do you feel about +3 magic items?
Okay, Rogar.
Well, I feel. Oh, he wanted to cast that location spell, but he also doesn't want to like get in the way of his friends escaping. So he'll just take his turn to like run twice, I guess, and boop 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 boop.
Okay. Athletics check, please.
Whoa! All right. Do, 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 do. Oh.
Oh, Dude.
It's like, oh,
Wow.
Nice, nice.
no one's
That's a
telekinesis
natural 20.
me.
All right.
Very
Yep.
nice.
Rogar comes scurrying past on his short little legs,
That little bit of fire under you.
Hey. Oh.
outdistancing even the rascals who are headed through the street. Dwarves are devastating over short distances. Natural sprinters. Okay,
That's right.
Celia's turn.
I think Cecilia is going to. So the enemies abound is a concentration spell, so she's going to keep that going.
Okay.
And
You can only really see two witches. This one is levitating up and drawing a bead with her bow. This one here is just standing there silently. Well, she stepped away from the edge, so you can't really see her, but you suspect she's still there. So yeah, this one
Man.
appears to be the only one who's actively readying an
hit-
attack.
And I want to hit her, but the thing I just realized I could possibly do, I don't know that I have quite prepped, because I took improved packed weapon, which means I can turn my axe into a crossbow and smite her with it.
Oh yeah,
And I want to do that really bad,
sure.
but I also don't have all that set up. So I'm just going to remember that for later, and I'll just blast at her.
Okay,
So that one's a 15,
that will not hit.
and then a 21 and a 25.
Those will both hit.
Okay. So 16 points of damage.
Okay. Yep. Your blasts smash into her, and she is obviously displeased. Okay.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Also, in
They're
the
dragging Lazar.
process, in the process of looking back at Lazar, you see that you are now holding 6 Lazars.
What?
Oh, yeah.
And I think Cecilia, like, first thought is like too many, like not looking for extras. But I think she has just enough presence of mind to remember that's a spell, and just keep holding and running and not think too hard about it.
All 6 of them grin at you and like, yes, the simple practicalities of the offensive magic. And then an arrow goes through the head of one of them and it just disappears. And he's like, and then an arrow strikes another one and it disappears. And he says, we better go though.
Yanks him.
Magic has its limits. All right, Sturge, you are in the mold, my friend.
Lovely. Well, I'm going to exit the mold.
You're starting to feel cold, like it's draining the heat out of your body.
We can all agree Sturge breaks the mold, so.
So
Oh, my beautiful map. What have I done to you? Anyway, it's fine. It's fine.
The
I
bourbon
could just
did it.
erase that. It was just one big squiggle. So,
okay. So Sturge is going to round the corner, and
you don't actually take any cold damage. So,
okay. How can I see this woman through all these burnt timbers?
yes, you see her staring at you.
Okay. How far above is she?
30 feet up from you.
30 feet. Okay.
She's not looking at you specifically. She's looking at the number of Lazars.
Right. Okay. Did I see her shoot a bow?
No, you haven't seen her do anything.
The one with the bow is the one on the corner of the building by the chain.
Okay.
Mhm.
Levitating.
Hello. God darn it. Yeah, she's up there. God, in some ways, invisibility really limits me.
You should climb up there and talk to her and see if it freaks her out. Just trying to think of what would be kind of on Sturge brand.
Yeah. I do think he will use his bonus action to climb up there.
Okay.
Wait, no, he has spider climb slippers.
Right.
So he's just gonna.
I just assumed you were going to use your bonus action to just dash up there.
Yeah. So he'll. Darn it. The player forgot that he had slippers, or he would have just gone up there. Otherwise, but he'll use the dash to sneak up there.
Okay.
And he's just gonna be there in position for next round if he succeeds in his stealth.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do this. Yeah, stealth. It's hard to tell what that is. Yeah, it's a 15. I don't know what her perception is.
Okay. All right. When you get closer to her,
Mm-hmm.
you can see that she is. Now that you can sort of see under her mask a little bit, like you can see her neck and like the bottom of her jaw.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing a blood spattered bandana that's wrapped around her throat,
Mm-hmm.
and she's wearing black leather, like I said. She has stark white hair, which she's cut very, very short. Her cloak is tattered and many times mended, and her boots are blackened as though by fire and violence. She stands there staring down, completely silent, doesn't seem to acknowledge you. I mean, you are invisible, so theoretically she wouldn't see you, but she doesn't seem to be acknowledging you.
Right. Okay. Do I have advantage in my stealth because I'm invisible?
I mean, not really. I mean, the stealth roll is to avoid making noise, right?
Okay.
And the invisibility doesn't do anything about that.
If you heard a noise and you didn't see anything, wouldn't you be like, yeah, it's a pigeon?
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So you're just kind of putting yourself in position. All right,
Yeah.
Stong. You're flying invisible on a Pegasus, also invisible.
Okay. So I think Stong wants to go.
Did you hear the parentheses in that sentence? Also invisible.
Yes. Thank you. Actually, I think he'll go past everybody to about right over here. And then he's going to ready an action. And the action I want to ready is animate objects.
Okay. What
So-
is going to trigger that spell? Sorry, we're going a little bit later, but we're almost done with this session.
Yeah, I think the trigger is if any of the witches in the back, so like the ones that are not like right over. Maybe once Cecilia and Sturge get past this point. So let's see
Okay.
who goes first. So right after Sturge moves. will be
You
Sturge
the-
is
can't
still
see
invisible.
Sturge.
Oh. Ooh. Right after Cecilia moves.
You could say I ready it for when Surge gives me a sign,
Okay.
or when Sturge appears and is safely out of range. Right? Something like that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Artemisia, you are running along, well, flying along with the people who are running, and the lad says, "Hey, I think we're gonna make it. These people seem to be very, very effective." And then a figure steps out of this alley down here.
Oh no.
Of course they do.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This is in dark alleys. Figure step
Yeah.
out, and then you get a shiv to the cut.
This is why you let the strangers go first.
This
There might
woman-
be alley shifts.
This woman steps out slowly, kind of haltingly. She has a forbidding, deathly silent presence as she stares at you wordlessly and without breath. She stands in profile so that you can see only the left half of her body, so she actually stepped out like backwards. It was really strange. So you can see only the left half of her body swathed in black leathers beneath an ivory mask that has begun to discolor somewhat with age.
There's like one clothing seller here, and they have a very defined aesthetic.
And she raises one black gloved hand and points. And the girl shouts out, "Get down!" And it is at that point that she casts a spell, and the man just stiffens up and collapses over, stone dead.
Oh no!
Yeah, she pointed a finger at him, and now he's dead.
Must have had under 100 hit points.
Some of us do!
Oh shit!
Oh no!
All right, Artemisia, your turn.
That's a
So you saw that go down.
that's a lightning bolt to the face. Is what that is there.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna upcast it, 4th level.
And look at that. She cleared a nice straight path for you.
We should save that corpse for Caliph. Very considerate of us.
Yeah, a consolation prize for not being
Okay. And what's the DC of this save here?
17.
17. Ooh, okay. So she does make her save. How much damage?
So that's 41.
41. Okay, so it would be 20 damage for half. Okay. The lightning passes into her, not seeming to do all that much. That's so dark, I can't see my keyboard. Okay. All right, I need like a lighted keyboard or a little light that I just shine on my keyboard. I'll work on that. Okay. So you cast your chain lightning spell. Zzz.
Well, it was a lightning bolt.
Or just a lightning bolt. Okay.
I'm saving chain lightning in case there's a bunch of people, because there's no friendlies in front or behind her. So
Cool. Rogar.
Rogar's he saw her just point and the person dropped dead, and then she just kind of like shakes off the lightning, and he's like, okay, how does Cecilia do that? Go away! And he casts banishment on her.
Okay. That's a charisma saving throw.
It is, yes, charisma 17.
Okay. The magic disperses around her to no effect.
Oh,
And she tilts her head like farther than it should be able to tilt,
Creepy.
and then turns to face you more fully.
Rogar will move over here.
At which point
Yeah.
you glimpse the truth. Her
Uh-huh.
body is split into two pieces as though someone had set a mirror on her chest, each side reflecting a different horror.
Uh-huh.
On the right side, fraying yellowed bandages wrap her skeletal frame, stretched painfully over sharp joints and spurs of bone and sinew. Her left side, painfully skinny and drawn, she keeps hidden beneath dusty black leathers. She wears a pair of blackened, cracked bracers of elven design, like she lifted it up and your spell disappeared into one of the bracers. As well as a number of rings that must have once shone but have lost their luster. She wears a cracked ivory mask, carved to have no expression whatsoever, which reveals a grinning skull through a gap on one side. A few wisps of withered flesh cling to the raw bone. What lurks behind the intact mask must be a far greater horror. So yeah, she's got a Phantom of the Opera mask right there.
Oh, so Rogar goes.
Except it's not hiding the skull part.
So she's
revealing
revealing
that part.
She's like,
It's hiding the
Gosh.
part that would not disturb us.
Right.
Maybe, unless the part that's under there is worse.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
So she shrugs it off. He ducks back.
No, she didn't shrug it off. Like she had to expend some power to absorb it.
Okay, she slipped because he's like, oh, she didn't go away. So he ducks over here and he peeks around that corner really quick and he goes, that looks really painful. I could try to help you if wanted. And then ducks back.
So this woman with the dirty blonde hair kind of falls over onto her back, like startled and horrified by this creature that has stepped out to attack you. Okay, Cecilia, your turn.
Okay, so still bear on the back corner, so I haven't seen all of this. So she's gonna keep running out here and spot the strange creature.
Oh yeah. Well, you've seen a lich before, and you think this thing looks a little bit like a lich.
That's not good.
I would concur.
Oh man. How do we? I was busy trying to customize my crossbow.
Astral dreadnought is just floating up there, just bearing witness.
Just chilling.
Just chilling. Just vibing.
It's like, you guys seem like you're in trouble.
Would you like to feed me yourselves?
Oh man, don't want to tangle with a lich, but also lich is in the way. So yeah, I guess let's try that improved packed weapon. So
Okay.
she's gonna take the axe. The axe like shimmers and changes into a heavy crossbow.
Okay.
And
I suddenly had this image of like this scene from Ruby or something where you just your weapon turns into a ranged weapon.
I don't know that reference, but
It's
that's
okay.
okay. So
Look, we all have different levels of geeky. Okay, it's fine.
different flavors. We'll see. Okay, so that's
My level is at least 7th level of hell. Okay.
Eric is a Rooster Teeth fan.
Jeez. All right. Oh, hey,
so a 21.
that is gonna hit.
Okay,
Ooh,
then let's go
nice.
ahead and expend a spell slot for an Eldritch Smite. So that is 68 damage. Wait, sorry. 6d8.
Okay.
To be clear.
Okay.
So that
I
can
got
still be
my
wonderful.
keyboard right here.
Up and down. 26.
Some kind of wonderful. Smite it.
Let's say 8 of that is force damage.
Okay.
And they are knocked prone.
Okay.
And then she gets another attack with that thing.
Mhm.
So let's just go ahead and shoot it again.
It uses a spell slot to Eldritch Smite, right?
Eldritch Smite uses a spell slot.
Yeah,
Okay.
Daza just gave you one back afterward.
All
Oh,
right.
thank you, Daza. I hadn't checked it off yet.
All right.
So now I won't. Okay, so that is a 21 to hit.
Yep.
Did you get
that
the
also
7
hits.
the 7 regular damage that it did in addition to the 26?
Ah, yeah, I'll mark it.
And then so then it does 13 damage for the second bolt. And I think she can actually go like one closer. She sees Rogar hiding in that corner, and that seems like a wise place to go.
Mhm. All right.
So that's 1 feet thing shown up.
Clear. Take it away, Sturge.
Okay, so is that Lazar right below Sturge?
Cecilia kept dragging Lazar, so he should be near Cecilia.
So this is not. I'm okay.
She's kind of like blocking for
I'll
him.
put a nameplate on Lazar. Hopefully, you'll all see it.
Yeah, that's cool. So this witch in front of Sturge, what is she doing? She's just
Just
watching.
standing there, staring.
Do I have any idea why? I mean, is she
Make
has
an insight check.
Well, I don't want to use an action for that.
That shouldn't be an action.
You can make an insight check without
Okay.
without burning an action.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not real.
Did you get inspiration at some point?
Yeah, I'm not. Does she have a
Good
weapon?
idea than that.
She seems vaguely familiar to you in some way. She does have a weapon. She's wearing a curved sword, the hilt of which pokes up over her shoulder
But she's not using it.
and
She's
leaks
not like-
black flame over her arm. She doesn't seem to notice any pain, if there's any pain.
Does she have it out? Is it
Nope.
in her?
Still in a scabbard.
What the hell?
Can I buy Sturge
are these-
inspiration so he'll see? I
Are
want to
these-
know who these people are.
Do you think these are alternate like timeline versions of ours?
Do you want to try and take off her mask? I mean, you are invisible and standing next to her.
Yeah, but I can't take any damage.
That is
Yeah.
true.
It's gone, and I could sneak attack her right now, but I'm pretty sure that won't kill her. So
It's a good suggestion. That might not kill her.
So I think what he's gonna do is he's just gonna speak. He's going to say, "I could have killed you just now, but I'd rather talk to you. Would you mind?"
Which turns to face the direction of your voice, which is, you, unless you're throwing your voice because you're an actor and stuff.
Right. No, I mean, Mr. Whippy's out and ready to go, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just
Okay.
going to say,
She looks at you and she says, "Do it."
"Who are you?
Do it, Sturge.
Take off the
Oh, she knows
mask.
your name.
Take off the mask.
I can't.
Can I?"
Not while I live.
Are you enslaved?
She reaches hesitantly toward her sword like she's fighting her arm.
Resist.
Flee, Sturge.
Okay.
Flee.
He's going to do just that. He's going to spider climb, walk down.
Okay, roll a dexterity save. Or actually, you're going to do an opposed initiative check with her.
Oh dear.
She is indeed going to attack you. It's going to determine whether you go first or she goes first.
Okay. I'm going to foresee her roll, actually.
Okay, what'd she get?
Oh.
Yeah.
She rolled a 4.
Okay.
Oh.
And what was
That's
your
too sad.
initiative roll?
My roll, I'm going to foresee as a 12
Okay,
plus 4, so 16.
okay. You do go first.
Right.
She starts casting a spell, but you can move first.
Okay. I'm going to move this way. 1, 2. I mean, as far as I can up the alley, hugging the wall, so she can't really see me, or I'm not. Well, she can't see me anyway. But
You hop down into the alley.
yeah,
Do you
I spider
hop
climb.
down into the alley, or do you spider climb down into the alley?
Spider
Because
climb
hopping down might cause you falling damage.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I spider climb down. How many
Okay.
feet is that? 30 feet? Did you
It's
say?
it's 30 feet, but you can go diagonally, so you can get 30 feet down the alley too.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Like you just
yeah.
go down diagonally.
So now these are 10-foot squares, aren't they?
Supposed to be
They're
5, right?
supposed to be
They're
5 foot, so
Okay, okay.
don't worry about the measurement thing. Just
Okay, so I'm going to the corner. I'm going to whisper to Artemisia, "I'm behind you. Don't step backwards." And
good, because as soon as you left, she cast a fairy fire spell right where she was, and it illuminates the whole rooftop.
right, okay, and
You're not caught in it, so you're good.
okay, so I still have my main action, right? I just moved. Or did I use it to speak? I probably used it.
You kind of used it to have your little showdown.
Okay, so I'm just going to crouch there in the corner and to try to take in my environment and stuff.
Okay, Stong, your turn.
Okay.
So the witch down here is presenting a barrier to escape.
Yeah. So the trigger from last time didn't happen. So the ready
true.
action does not.
Yeah, so you can cast the spell now if you want, or you can just take your turn.
Yeah, I think. Man, interesting.
There aren't a lot of objects to animate, really.
You talking
Although
about?
I'm sure you
This
brought
is a
some. I'm
ruined
sure you
roof
brought
ti-
some for the occasion.
roof tiles. I can talk.
It would
Yeah.
be funny if you just animate a bunch of burned roof tiles and just beat all the enemies to death with animated roof tiles.
Well, also technically, I see an object right here. It just there's a new medium-sized object, but we'll just leave that one alone. Like, we're
Caleb is
just-
rubbing off at you.
We'll just leave that alone.
Oof, that's an oof. Actually, as that lady is like kind of lying there on her backside, startled, the body shivers and reaches for her,
Oh no!
moaning.
No.
That's what
Yeah, it's
happens
gonna
when
be
you get
so
killed
sad
by a
she
finger
missed
of death
this.
spell.
Oh, okay.
Really?
So it was Finger of Death. Okay,
Mhm.
interesting. Oh man. So
And she screams. Oh, geez. Your friend gets killed right beside you and then turns into a zombie and tries to eat you? Yeah, she screams in terror.
So I think what's going to happen is that Stong is going to fly up and around like to the west and then cut back to the east, and he's going to try to charge this lich and then like knock her to the side.
Okay.
And then using the charger feat.
So is this a bull rush attack that you're making?
No, it's just an attack.
Okay.
But utilizing the charger feat instead of doing damage, I can move her 10 feet.
Sure.
So
So are you leaping off the Pegasus to get to her, or are you still trying to remain on the Pegasus?
So my plan was to actually, leap off, then hit
Okay.
her, 10 feet to the east or something, and then have my Pegasus, just be in the middle between her and I.
Okay.
Hopefully,
All right. So the Pegasus flies to about here. You leap off, make your attack.
Okay.
And then we'll see how it goes from there.
yeah, so he's going to use his longsword.
Stop.
Oh, man. So that's going to be, so -2 is 12.
12 is not going to hit.
Okay. Well,
So you come in with your longsword.
oh, wait,
And
I'm
she-
invisible. Does that give me advantage?
Hold on. No, she can see you. Like as you approach, she doesn't seem to be paying any attention. You bring in your sword, and she just reaches. She pulls up this bone scimitar and just blocks your sword with unimaginable strength.
Ah, but while we're that close, is there anything
Uh-huh.
else I could see from her face?
Make an insight check.
So,
Come on.
to be a 10. I'm sorry.
You don't have inspiration?
Nope.
So her
it!
face does turn to you, like her head turns farther than it should be able to. And she rasps something. It sounds like it's not actual words, but you heard maybe your own name in that deathly rattle. Anyway.
Oh man. Okay.
It is at this point, okay. Stong, you're looking at her and you're trying to make out her face when you see flames appear at your peripheral vision, and this other figure emerges,
Oh no.
Oh, it's
Stabbing-
Ian.
stabbing a sword right through the Lich,
Person look familiar.
who goes, "Ugh." And holy energy just blasts out of the sword, knocking the Lich
Oh.
flying away.
The Lich was prone.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Lich was prone.
Yeah, that is true.
Sorry. It's probably not time to wind it back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
it's fine. Anyway, and knocking the Lich into this alley where she disappears into the gloom. And then the figure looks over at you, a tiefling girl, maybe like a teenager or so. She has kind of purpley skin and like horns, and she's wielding the sword, which flames erupted from it. And she looks up at you, and her green eyes stare up at you, and she says, "Oh, hi, Dad."
Ah!
And, and that's all the time we have for tonight.
Oh my
Twist.
god! That's awesome.
So I have been Eric Scott DeB, taking the Dungeon Scrawlers on a trip through time and space. Take it away, Aaron.
I'm Aaron M. Evans. You can find me on Twitter at Aaron M. Evans. You can catch me Wednesday mornings at 11 on twitch.tv/CNE Games for Champions of Lore with BJ Walters and Trevor Bettis. You can also find me with those guys on our podcast, Writing About Dragons and Shit. A new episode just came out today, featuring our very own Rhiannon Held, talking about character chemistry. So give us a listen.
Hey.
And give our sponsors a view. Go check out Idle Champions with Forgotten Realms at idlechampions.com.
I've been Rhiannon Held, and if you want to check out any of our different books, you can look at the Amazon widget on Twitch page or on our website, dungeonscholars.com. You can try out something from all of us, like my latest space opera. The first 4 novellas are collected into a print edition if you like print. And tonight, thank you to our moderators, Shay, Myra, Doug, and Seldrine.
Hey, I'm Yang Wang. So, the charity that we're going to highlight this week is Food Lifeline. So, Food Lifeline is part of a network, part of the Feeding America network, and they believe that access to food is a human right and that nobody deserves to be hungry. Food Lifeline provides nutritious food to hundreds of thousands of people facing hunger every year by sourcing nutritious food from a variety of food industry partners. They distribute this through a partnership with over 300 other food banks, shelters, and meal programs. So this is an organization that essentially supports like a ton of other food banks like throughout the US. And they basically provide the equivalent of about 134,000 meals every single day. So check them out. And you can type in !charity in the chat to find out more about them and get their link. And I think next week maybe we'll try doing the charity thing a little differently. I got an idea of how we can try something a little different.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then also tonight I think we're gonna also raid Together Studios. I really like the amount of energy and positivity that we bring into whatever channel we raid. So once again, I would love to have you just spend an extra minute or two after our show is done and go into theirs, give them a follow. It would really help them out and send them some good vibes in chat. It really helps us streamers when our chat gives us really positive energy or says something really really nice. Even if it's something a little not the nicest, but it's funny or something. I'm also cool with that. You want to cast a little shade on me or something, that's cool. So yeah, please stick around for the Together Studios raid.
Cool. I'm Stephen Merlino. You can also find our past videos on our YouTube channel linked on our Twitch page below. Be sure to click the subscribe button to support us and the bell to get notified as we add new content.
Hi, Reddy Henderson, and thank you all so much for watching, for sticking with it. That was an awesome session, Eric. Thank you. And you can join us over on our Discord where we chat about the show, about gaming, hobbies, everything over there. Join the community, have some fun. And then if you're new to the stream, you can check out our website where we have info on all of the players, characters, the NPCs. So you can maybe try and get a little bit of information and guess who these masked figures were, and then and recaps of all our past episodes so you can catch up. And please do subscribe here. It's 20% off for the remainder of September on 1 month subscriptions, and help us get those +3 weapons.
Yes. Good cause.
Exactly. And then until next time, thank you all and stay scrawling.